when she walks through the door, a shadow that stretches across the stone floor. She carries the staff, she carries the sight, a piece of the morning in the heart of the night. Satan, 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 Satan.
The staff hits the wood where the kings used to stand. Fate is a needle in a trembling hand. You asked for the rune, you asked for the flame, but you're too weak to carry the weight of your name.
The thread is unweaving, the truth is bereaving, the vulva is spinning, the spirit and bone. The seeds of your ending have already been sown. She sees the high hall, she sees it in ash, the glint of the gold, the sting of the lash. She speaks to the dead, she drinks from the well. There are secrets the living are too frightened to tell. The thread is unweaving, the truth is bereaving, vulva is spinning, the spirit and bone. The seeds of your ending have already been sown. The thread is unweaving, the truth is bereaving, the vulva is spinning, the spirit and bone. The seeds of your ending have already been sown.
The weird is full. The weird is full.
Across the foam where the gray sea dies, I see the gold in your mortal eyes. Leave the iron sheen, leave the rust, leave the men who turn to dust.
I see the light, I see the shore, but my heart is tied to the threshing floor. How can I ride where the shadows go, when the wind of home is all I know?
Oonagh is calling.
Beyond the mist where the sea is new,
Leave the world of the gray and the falling. Asheen, Haroon, I am calling you. 10,000 winters in a single breath, the land of youth, the end of death. Time is a cage, time is a lie. Come to the land where we never die.
I took the saddle, I left the clay, but the ghost of home wouldn't fade.
All right,
Is it working? Can you hear me?
Yes, but you're going to be very overshadowed by the music.
Oh.
So let's turn that down a bit. And then give them background music. All right, there you go.
I bought this
I convinced you to get a new headset? Good. Had to strong arm you because you've needed a new headset for quite a while. I didn't see him break your fence, to be fair. I kept switching back and forth between both streams, and every time I went to Maddie's, he was wandering off in the outskirts or he was in bed. So I did not see the breaking of the fence. I'm sorry, Aaron. But hello, everybody. We are back for some Child of the Prophecy by Juliette Marier, and we have made quite the dent. That last chapter was really long. You had terrible internet yesterday? Yes, it happens. It happens. We're constantly having problems with Spectrum, and then we decided that we would switch over to Frontier, and the connection has been great. Connection has been great. The cat's knocking over the router, not so much. That's where the usual problems lie. And of course, when we have crazy winds. If we have crazy winds, there's just nothing to do about that. But, Sailor and a few other streamer friends were like, get a new mic, Mr. Robot. Yeah. I mean, it happens. The tech wears out and they kind of get made to wear out. You know, everything is, make it as cheaply as possible for that bottom line. It's just unfortunate. And if you're streaming, Maddie, you got to make sure you have proper equipment and working equipment. So, okay. Recapping what happened last chapter. It was quite a bit. Vanya has met Leodin, and she and the other girls are getting fetched from Aemon's property to go back to Seven Waters because they believe Maeve is out of the weeds. It looks like she's going to be recovering from her burns. So everyone is happy for that reunion, but Fanya is stuck between a rock and a hard place. She's realized she doesn't want to hurt these people, but then she has her sorceress grandmother, who is the main antagonist of this trilogy, forcing her to do these things. So she's just decided that she's going to go against her grandmother. She doesn't want to give in. She's noticed that the amulet that her grandmother made her wear is being hindered by the necklace that I believe it was Sean and Leodin and Neve, because they were all the siblings, they wove that together, and then it was Kiaran's stone with the natural hole in it. I forgot what they call that. But seer stone, I think. So this seems to be counteracting the sorceress's influence on Fanya. And but she's just made this agreement with Aemon that she'll help him get his revenge if he marries her. And she just used that as an excuse, because why would she do something like that without getting something in return? So it's kind of more of a cover. It doesn't sound like something she will actually follow through with, but she has to keep up the appearance of that being the incentive. Am I making sense? Do I have it all right? Hello, Bear. How are you? I mean, I order a lot of my stuff online. Options are kind of limited at the store, you know? I always have coffee. What do you mean? Was it a question? Like, who was wondering if I had coffee? It's always the obvious answer. Your new computer is working well? That's awesome. That's good news. Great, now you guys are gonna be fighting about it, huh? In my head, I did. Okay. Anyway, so are we all caught up on what's going on here? Do we have any questions or comments? Oh, you guys, I swear you're like a real brother and sister. Just all one big happy family here at the tavern now. But, okay, if everyone's on the same page, it all sounds good, then I'll just start reading. We're on chapter 11 now. I fight with Maddie more than my actual sister. That's funny. My sister and I didn't get along very well growing up. I had a lot of patience, but she did her darndest to try it, you know? She was, they had a pretty big age gap, so... Oh, goodness! This is 30 pages. It's gonna be a while. But after she became an adult, and, we get along just fine now, but as kids... Yeah. I'm the little sister in both times. Yeah, you're the baby of the tavern, Erin. Okay. Old and busted, Bear. Oh, did you do a lot of work and your body's just worn out? You were calling Maddie a chicken earlier? Like chicken as in coward, or like were you commenting on his legs? Like what is the context here? Oh, making noises? Yeah. Oh, coward, okay. It's hard to acknowledge something like that. I think everyone has a bit of cowardice in them, and it takes a lot to acknowledge when you're being cowardly and just buck up and take responsibility for it and change it. Are you late? I didn't start reading yet. I was doing a recap, saying hello to everybody coming in. So, not late. I didn't have the starting soon up for very long, so I'm sure we'll have some more people trickling in.
No.
No, you're hearing the dog follow him around because he's carrying food, so.
You giant sandwich.
Food for me?
Food for you.
Oh my gosh. This is giant. Okay. I will probably eat this later, so you're not having to watch me try to shove this in my mouth.
Oh, come on, you can do a mukbang stream for them.
No, I don't think that's what they're here for.
I'm sure they would appreciate
Is it better to watch on TikTok, Twitch, or Discord? Well, oh no, I lost my page. Most of our chatters are over on Twitch. I think nearly everyone who was on TikTok migrated over to Twitch because all of our chatters are over there. But we do also have YouTube and Facebook, if either of those options are more comfortable for you. I know TikTok can get a little wonky. And honestly, streaming through TikTok has been wonky all around because we used to have like over 300 people on our live streams, and then just one day it was nothing.
Oh, and they keep trying to kick us off and ban us.
Is the Twitch link in the Discord channel somewhere? Yes. But I can tell you it's Black Dragon Tavern Gaming because Black Dragon Tavern was taken on Twitch. So you just add gaming to the end, and that's where you can find it on Twitch. That's where you'll find us. Unfortunately, I do not have a simple way of just putting in that link for you in TikTok.
It is linked in the beacon, I think. If they're on.
Is
TikTok,
it in the beacon? Okay,
yeah.
so on the profile page. Yeah. Nope, definitely not chapter 9. I accidentally lost my page. Good thing I didn't start yet. There we go. We're good. Hello, Milu. You made it. Let's see. Joseph, hello. Welcome in. Sorry, I was not on the multi-stream, so I'm trying to see who's on Facebook and YouTube right now.
You can click through over there on the tabs if you want to see.
Yeah, it was just on Twitch over here.
Oh.
I didn't know that, so
That's
I was wondering why. I'm like, why am I not seeing anyone from Facebook and YouTube? But I see you, Joseph. I'm sorry I missed you. I didn't see you up there in the chat. YouTube's still available. I don't do Discord. Makes me uncomfortable to use. It's wonky. We preferred Gilded, but Gilded is gone now, so it's been an adjustment for everybody. But we're just getting kind of used to it because that's what we have available, and there just isn't another platform that is better as of yet. But yes, you are absolutely welcome to go over to YouTube or Facebook, whichever
YouTube and
you
Facebook
prefer.
tend to be about 15 to 60 seconds behind because of the latency connections on there, but...
Woo! Welcome in! You found it. Good, good, good. I'll have to remember that it's you, Terrell. You've been here for 16 months, Aaron? Wow. The time goes by real fast. It's crazy. If you hear my child, my teenager, rather, in the background playing with his friends and he's too loud, just to let me know and I'll tell him to go be quiet. Oh, that's okay, Bethany. No problem. No problem. You know, we have the VODs, so if you have other stuff that you need to do, you could always go back and listen if you want to keep up with the story. I'm just waiting for the obligatory cattail. I'm sure it will come at some point. Hopefully not soon because it's very hot today.
They're both locked in the boys' room.
Oh, they're with Everett. Okay, so chapter 11. Gotta make sure you guys are gonna be able to hear me okay. Yeah? Okay. Heading over to Facebook? Okay. Very good, Tsunomi, no problem. My mind began to work very quickly indeed. She would come if she thought I was too slow. Of that I had no doubt at all. I must act first. I must preempt her visit. I must summon her myself, though the prospect of her coming anywhere near Seven Waters chilled me. I would take control. I would demonstrate my compliance. I wished her to be in no doubt whatever that I was still her puppet, and dedicated to her work, to work her will. It was a perilous way I contemplated. None must know the truth. Think the goddess Derek was safe back in Kanamara, which was surely far enough away for my grandmother to forget him. As for my father, he trusted me to make my own decisions. And though this was the biggest decision of my life, the same rule applied. He had brought me up to do things without help, and I would be true to his teaching. I would need some reason to summon grandmother, a progress report that should please her. The plan I had outlined for her involved spying for Eamon, finding out the information he needed to destroy his old enemy, the one they called the Chief. What was the fellow's name? Bran? I must do it and glean some news to show her I had not been idle. And I could not spy unless I could transform. It was time for an exercise of the craft. Good, said a strange little voice right behind me. I froze in shock. There where I sat before the cold hearth in the semi-darkness. For a moment I had really thought, but no, this soft hooting tone was nothing like my grandmother's. You think so? I asked cautiously as my heart went back to its normal pace, and I turned to observe the owl-like creature as it stood round-eyed by my window in its feather cloak and little red boots. I must indeed have been absorbed in my thoughts if I had sat unaware while it flew in and changed. I know so, Fire Child. I see it in your face. A different look. So what's it to be? A ginger cat, maybe? All hiss and danger. A flea? That would give you an intimate insight. You'll learn something tonight, for they all sit up by lantern light behind closed doors. Best be quick. I frowned. Reading my thoughts now, are you? I queried, wondering whether I might risk trusting this small personage which seemed to understand so much without being told. A gurgle of laughter. Not us. Just waited for you to work it out, that's all. And we're everywhere, though folk don't see us. We read it in your eyes. Took you long enough to find your way through this puzzle, and you a druid's only daughter. There seemed no possible answer to this, save maybe a question. Do you think my father intended? You'd have to ask him that question. Now come on, time's passing. What's it to be? I shivered. I must make my way unseen to the chamber where they meet, enter by a locked door in the dark, remain there unobserved, and return safely here. No cats, that's certain. A creature of night, quite small, one which can enter through the crack between door and frame. A cockroach, the creature suggested helpfully. I thought a moth, I said, my voice shaking with the very idea of it. Good idea. Go on, then. I recalled belatedly that an owl was also a creature of the night, and I remembered the camp of the traveling folk, and a certain miniature predator swooping down on its prey with needle-sharp claws and snapping beak. I hope you're not here just for an easy supper, I said, frowning. I've eaten already, thank you, replied the creature politely. Come on, hurry up. Can you do it or not? I've never tried this before. We know. That's why I'm here. A watcher. You need one, the first one. This sort of thing's second nature to our kind, be warned. You'll feel it afterward. Takes quite a toll. Be sure you're back in here before you undo the charm. The first step. It was necessary to create a picture in the mind, a sort of map of what must be done, plain enough for even the smallest and simplest of creatures to retain. I closed my eyes and made myself visualize the path I must follow. Out of my chamber, beneath the door where a gap admitted a chill of winter draught, along the dark passageway to the chamber where they would be meeting, a smallish private room at the top of the stairs. Hello, Capitan. And hello, Frost. Welcome in. I captured in my mind a faint outline of the doorway, light showing dimly from within. I must make my way through the crack at the top of the door, then simply cling to a wall or ceiling, and listen until I heard something. Anything I might use to convince my grandmother I was moving forward with my plan. Then I made myself feel and see the return journey.
For your tiny soups.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Back through the tiny slot, along the hallway on rapid wings, coming to rest on my own doorway, creeping under, safe again. This pattern must be very clear in my mind before I begin, and so must the charm of reversal. These two things I must hold, and my knowledge of myself, or be lost forever in that other form. My heart pounded in anticipation. I must do this. I would do this. Now, said the owl creature. The second step. I thought moth. I felt the shape, the lightness, the alteration of balance, so that instead of up and down, floor and ceiling, there were simply different sorts of planes and different kinds of touching. I felt the power of the wings and the strange pull of the light. I felt my consciousness dwindle and alter and focus into something far simpler and more direct. In my head I spoke the words and changed. For a moment there was only blind panic. I could not sort out legs from wings. My eyes did not seem to be working properly. I blundered and toppled and fluttered in helpless circles on the floor. Door, said a voice, and it scared me. But somewhere there was a pattern, and I understood I must follow it. I flew erratically to the faint crack of light, and crept through beneath the door. Brightness, warmth, I wanted that. I wanted the light, and it was there. Not far above. I flew more boldly now, drawn to its glow, knowing I must go to it. I must get closer. No, fire child, not that. Remember who you are. Remember the pattern. The voice. I should heed the voice. But there was the light. The light called me so strongly. Be safe.
I will be.
Love you.
I love you.
You will burn if you fly into the lantern. Follow the pattern. Do not lose yourself. Somewhere the sense of self deep within, my father's training. I was Fanya, daughter of Kiaran. This moth form was only a shell, and I must disregard the way it pulled me toward that sweet glow of warmth. My fragile wings carried me high along the hallway, safe above the tantalizing flame of the lantern. I could not see my strange companion. Perhaps the creature had stayed behind the closed door of my bedchamber. But its voice still guided me. Good, fire child. Remain yourself. Do not give in to that other mind, or you are indeed no more than an owl's next meal, and not much of one at that. Now go in. I had reached the entry to the small council chamber. There was only just space enough to crawl between the oaken door and frame. Inside there were lights again, 2 lanterns and candles. They summoned me the way a stream of clear water calls to a thirsty man after a long day's journey. With an effort of will, I held myself on the wall by the door. My vision was strange. There were no colors, only light and dark. I could see right around me, not just in front. I could scarcely begin to interpret what my new eyes showed me. To do so, I would need to learn to see all over again. I concentrated on hearing, and with effort, made out the separate voices of Connor, Sean, and Leodin, and to my surprise, Johnny. It came to me that I owed it to Johnny that any part of the conversation was spoken aloud. Before his presence, they might have used the voice of the mind, and conducted it in total silence. None but a seer might have spied on such a council. It was hard to listen and harder still to understand. Part of me only heard sounds of danger. The part of me saw and felt only darkness and light. The darkness of unseen predators lurking in the shadows. The coaxing, wonderful, flickering light there on the table that called me so strongly. Focus. The words, the pattern. I must not lose myself in that other. The pattern was listen, door, fly, door, safe. Then the charm of reversal. First listen. What it means I cannot guess, Connor was saying gravely, as if he had just reached the conclusion of some narrative. What influences there have been, I shudder to contemplate. The question is, what action do we take now? There was a brief silence. Are you telling us, Sean's tone was careful, that you believe young Fanya has come here as an emissary of the Lady Oonagh? That seems quite fanciful, and I cannot bring myself to believe it. I've never concurred with your doubts about the girl. She's a good child. Aisling speaks quite highly of her. She's had a strange upbringing and is a little shy and awkward, but no more than that, surely. You forget the use of sorcerer's magic. Theoden's voice was chill. We have seen that. She's strong and able like her father. And it would be just the Lady Oonagh's way, would it not, uncle? To seek to harm us by using her as a weapon, a child we long to take to ourselves and love and to welcome. Neve's own daughter. It's cruel indeed, and has the unmistakable stamp of the sorceress on it. Did you not say Fanya knows how to conjure fire with her fingers? Doesn't that tell you anything? You can't be suggesting, but that's preposterous, Leodin. Sean spoke in a shocked whisper. I crept closer to hear, moving from wall to ceiling so that I clung upside down in the shadows. Below me, one of Sean's great dogs twitched his ears and began a low, ominous growling. I sensed the scurrying movement of other small creatures close by me. I felt a sudden terror without understanding its cause. That can't be right, Mother. Johnny spoke with absolute confidence. I've seen Fanya with the children. She loves them. You should hear her telling stories or see her by Maeve's bedside. There's no evil there. Indeed, there's a simplicity about her that makes the very idea unthinkable. Leodin sighed. You can't know. But Connor could tell you, I think. Wasn't it just so with the Lady Oonagh? Oh, ads have started? Oh, okay. Then we will pause momentarily while the ads go. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know, Frost. Because I missed it. We all following what's going on here? It must be a challenge trying to write a character that's trying to understand how a moth experiences things. It's probably fun to do as well. Oh, really, Joseph? Sorry about that. I think when you get on social media, it's hard to avoid people being bothersome. It just happens. If you expect it, then you won't be as bothered, I think. Because you can just ignore it. Okay, I can just start the ad then, and then we don't have to worry about it for a little bit anyway. Maybe one day Twitch won't force us to do the ads. Not. That's how they make money, right? I avoid online fandoms. I think that's a good idea. I think that is a good idea. Fandoms, you know, when you have these different factions that have different opinions, it just becomes like this crazy war, and it's just... Calm down, people. Just enjoy life as best you can. Because you don't have it for very long. Is that the day when money becomes irrelevant? Yeah. And the nuclear fallout, right? Thankfully, it's only a couple of minutes, so we won't be on break for long. I probably should be taking the breaks because my voice does not last nearly as long as Castle's does when he's reading. I had a really cool world mythology book that I lent to an ex-boyfriend and never got it back. And I can't find it anywhere. It was in one of those, like back when Borders bookstore was still around. It was in like the bargain section. And it was like this big coffee table book, and it was actually very detailed and had great imagery. And I just can't find it anywhere. There are other great books out there, though. I just liked this one because it was a really good reference for just like various people looking to read up on it, like especially for character writing when you want to get reference and have something that's a little more in-depth than most mythology books, but not so in-depth that you're just reading a whole book about one particular thing. It was a good in-between. Which is good. It's definitely good, Destiny. Get as much as you can. I just hoard everything that I can find through ebook and in hard copy. Alright, 20 seconds. Oh my gosh. What? Why did you need to tell Maddie that?
That is hilarious. The story of Ragnarok, yeah. It is interesting, and it will be difficult to find a crowd that talks about Norse mythology that doesn't have differing opinions on what is correct. Oh no. You guys. You are funny. Okay, ad's over. I'm gonna continue reading. You guys can continue on with whatever nonsense is happening right now. Not exactly, said Connor heavily. We never trusted the sorceress, not from the moment my father first brought her home as his intended bride. But she had a kind of charm, like a fairy glamour she would put on to convince people she was sweet and well-meaning. To trap them. My father was ensnared thus, and my brother Diarmid as well. A sorceress has the ability to do this. It will not succeed with one such as myself or Leodin, but with you, son, or with Sean here, it might. Impossible, said Johnny flatly. I may not be a seer, but I know how to read a man's character or a woman's. Fanya is confused, scared. That's the truth. Underneath that, she's a child and innocent. What is it you're afraid of? I'll tell you, said his mother in an oddly constrained voice. Once, long ago, I was presented with a choice. The fair folk came and ordered me to remain here in the forest so that my child could be kept safe from the influence of the sorceress. Connor will vouch for that. He gave me the same advice. They came close to saying that the prophecy would not be fulfilled unless I did as they bid me. But you disobeyed, said Johnny. Why? I suppose there seemed no choice, really. I could keep you safe, or I could risk your future and the future of Seven Waters, the forests and the islands themselves. Most folk would find what I did hard to understand, but there was Bran. He could not stay with me, here in the forest. To protect my son, I would have had to cast away the man who was the other part of me, to deny him his own child. That I would not do. I defied their orders and set my back to Seven Waters. I went against Connor's good advice, and it is through my own intervention that Neve escaped her husband and fled to Kiarn. But for that, Fanya would never have existed. They warned me, the fair folk warned me that... No, I cannot put this into words. I hoped I would never have to tell you this, Johnny. I have never told your father. You're saying Fanya's presence is somehow a threat to me? To my safety? Johnny was bemused. How can that be, Mother? The Lady Oonagh sought control of Seven Waters once, Sean said slowly. She was defeated then by my mother's strength, by human strength. It may be the sorceress tried again through Kiarn, and now tries once more through his daughter. That was what my mother believed, when Neve and Kiarn first set eyes on one another, and cast a darkness on this house. She saw that as the Lady Oonagh's hand reaching out over us once more. She believed that old evil would continue to make itself known generation by generation, until the prophecy was fulfilled and all made right again. It could be true, if the Lady Oonagh indeed still lives. She must move swiftly to thwart us now, for our venture seems likely to succeed by summer. But if we do not have the child of the prophecy, we are doomed. The girl is troubled, said Connor. She has much of her father in her, with his intelligence and his sensibilities. Were it not for this foolishness with Aemon and the pressure that places on us, I would prefer to take the time to gain her trust, and convince her that she may be a power for good, whatever she may have been taught. Fanya does not seem to be bent on the course of evil. Forgive me, uncle, but I think your own feelings blind you to the truth, Leodin said tightly. You felt the loss of Kiarn keenly. You never found another with such talents, and the brotherhood dwindles. Be careful you do not trust too much.
seeing in Fanya only what you want to see. Connor's response was immaculate. She saved Sybil. She is your sister's daughter, and only in her 16th year. What would you have me do? Common sense tells me send her straight back home, Leodin said flatly. Let Kiaran take responsibility for her, since he chose to raise the child in the knowledge of the sorcerer's arts and exposed her to his mother's influence. I don't think we can do that, Sean spoke with authority. My niece is frightened. I saw it when I told her we must seek Kiaran's permission if she were to wed Eamon. You what? His sister's voice was shocked. The idea is unpalatable, certainly, but I have learned a little from experience. I could hardly dismiss her request without explanation. She refused to countenance the idea of sending a message to her father. The girl's terrified for some reason, terrified of making contact with him. But not frightened of him, put in Connor quietly. She speaks of him with the greatest loyalty and respect. I won't send her back to Kerry, Sean said in a tone which indicated a decision had been made. Not against her will. We cannot know what forces are in play here. It's hard for me to believe Fanya might mean us any harm, but I trust your judgment, sister. I would not wish to jeopardize our venture nor risk my family. Leodin was silent. There's only one solution, then, Johnny spoke with cheerful confidence. We'll take her north with us, put Eamon off politely, and say his intended bride wishes to wait for her father's approval, and that Kiaran cannot be reached just now. Meanwhile, Fanya is whisked out of harm's way, and all's well. There'll be no shortage of enthusiastic suitors for her on Enisela, and every one of them younger and likelier than Eamon of Glencarna, if somewhat less well endowed with worldly goods. She'll forget him soon enough. You haven't been listening to a single thing I've told you, Leodin said wearily. I always listen, Mother, said Johnny with a smile in his voice. I'll make a wager if you like. I'll wager I'm big enough and strong enough to stay out of harm's way, sorceress or no sorceress. How's that? Besides, if you think Fanya's confused or frightened, what better place to seek guidance than in Enisila? If she wants answers, that's where she'll find them, surely. The Lady Oonagh tried to kill you once. I'm still here, aren't I? Said Johnny blithely. Listening with all of the concentration I could summon. I had forgotten for a while that I was a moth as well as a girl. I moved my feet to get closer, but one foot was caught in something, and I sought to free it, and my legs were suddenly tangled. I flapped my wings, struggling to break away, and the sticky thread tightened around fluttering wing and fragile limb, and could not be broken. In the darkness behind me I sensed a presence, hungry, waiting. Hello, bears. The part of me that was still Fanya told me, web, spider. Free yourself now, quickly. The part of me that was moth was seized by a blind terror that held me fast as I beat my wings in frantic, futile effort. The presence came closer, moving like a clever dancer on its delicate cobweb bridge. Quick, said the voice of my feathered guide as I felt my death at my back. One short, sharp jerk. Quick now! I pulled to the side, using all the weight of my body, slight as it was, moving my wings as hard as I could while the spider made a sudden dart out toward me, and at last breaking free, spiraling downward out of control with fragments of the sticky fiber still clinging to my legs. My blundering flight took me into the side of the lantern, hot. I fell to the table, landed on my back, felt death close again. The dogs were barking. I was lifted on a large hand. Another hand came over, trapping me between. I struggled, flapping until I regained my feet. I waited for one final crushing blow. Poor thing, Johnny said. Doesn't rightly know which way it's going. There was movement, and the hands opened, and I crawled off the warmth of the human skin onto the stones by the doorway in the shadows. Having thus released me, my cousin went back to the table, and with my strange insect sight, I thought I saw him lay a reassuring hand on his mother's shoulder. Not settled, then, he said as I crept out through the crack above the door and flew away down the hallway. High above the lure of the lantern all the way along until I reached my own door. Quickly down and under, safe and rest. Now the charm! My otherworld companion stood by the window. I sensed the same red boots not far from me, felt the thread of their hard heels. I did not want to move for now. It was dark here. I could be still. The charm? It's not finished. Speak the words, fire child. Dimly it came to me. The charm, the pattern. Door, fly, door. Listen. Door, fly, door. Safe. The charm. Somewhere the words of the counterspell still dwelt within me, and I sounded them out in the silence of my moth mind. Words that seemed to have no meaning, only power. Around me the room tilted and changed. Dim colors appeared, the candlelight gold. The russet of a gown laid across the bed. The green and crimson of a holly wreath Clodagh had tied up over my window to welcome spirits abroad man Gavra. The chamber faded and brightened. I think I need glasses. Faded and brightened. The figure of the owl creature swam before us. I looked down and I saw I was myself again. I looked up, and around me, candle and window and owl being shifted and merged and jumbled all together. Then I was falling, and everything went black. Sorry, I'm trying to see who's speaking here. Oh no, Bear stream froze? That is unfortunate. And very common. Which we love all of the technical difficulties, don't we? I'd never argue with your father on a point of strategy, and I won't with you. The men rely on you to make the right decisions, and so will I. The voice made its way into my consciousness as I came slowly awake. I kept my eyes shut. I was in bed, tucked up warmly, and there was the little crackle of a hearth. A lovely smell, some drink with ginger and cloves. I was tired. I was so weary the bed felt soft and good. My body ached all over. I thought maybe I would just go right back to sleep. Besides, it was Johnny's voice this time. In your heart, you want her to come. I see through that stern demeanor. You must agree Fanya's a lovely girl, sorcerer's daughter or no. Can't you just see her, shining like a little bright lamp in our grim house of men? Her mother certainly drew them like moths to a flame, Leodin said wryly. And indeed, sometimes I think this is Neve all over again. So stubborn, so prickly, and yet a fine girl and easy to love. You read me well, son. I cherish my 4 boys, but I have longed for a daughter. Maybe it's true. Maybe what Fanya needs is protection. But there's a terrible risk as well. I know that better than anyone, save Kjaran himself. Trust me, Mother, this is right. I suppose there's no point in speaking to you of danger, just as there never was with Bran. The concept of self-protection is unknown to the 2 of you. I hoped he'd become a little more cautious as a man near 40 with grown sons, but still he must be in the forefront of it all, risking himself as if he'd made many lives as a cat. Hasn't he? Johnny chuckled. He need not do it himself. There are others, younger men, who would jump at the chance. It sounds perilous, Johnny. I fear to lose you both. You know the chief. He calculates his risks. This has been planned to the last detail, and for all his advanced years, he is one of our strongest swimmers and knows the terrain and the layout of their mooring better than anyone. We'll handpick the other men. It's true, there's danger. But there's always danger in winds and tides. And look what's riding on it. You don't sink your enemy's fleet by stealth without exposing yourself to peril. There will be so few of you, and such a long way from help. If word of this got out, you'd be vulnerable as chicks in the nest. You imagine we haven't made allowance for that? As for intelligence, who'd believe even the painted man crazy enough to attempt such a sortie? Nobody sails around the Needle on the eastern side. As for a swim, it's never been attempted before, the currents being what they are. Such rumors would be instantly discounted as fantasy. Your words do little to reassure me, Leodin said. I am reminded that it was my choice to have you brought up in your father's mold, a warrior and a strategist with no concept of fear. Things might have unfolded very differently had you been raised as a scholar and a mystic in the Nemetons. Do you regret your choice, Mother? Until that moment, when Connor told us the Lady Oonagh still lives and threatens us, I did not. I have had years of such happiness. I do not know how Bran and I could have lived our lives without one another. I rejoice in my boys and in my fine community at Harrowfield and the fellowship of Inisela. I am proud that we were able to give heirs not just to my father's estate, but to Seven Waters as well. There are regrets. Neve's sorrow and suffering remain in my heart, as does Kiaran's estrangement from his family and his calling. For that reason, I long to welcome their daughter as my own. But now, once, long ago, I was told, you want more than you can rightly have. I was told there was blood and sorrow in my choice. Perhaps it is time for me to pay the price for all those years of joy. Ask me again after the summer, if I have regrets. You miss him, Johnny said softly. More than I can put into words. My home is here, but my heart is there wherever he is. We'll leave as soon as Fanya can travel, said Johnny. Then I heard a knock, and the creak of the door, and Clodagh's voice. It was a conversation about whether I had had fainting fits before, and how I had been sick at Uncle Eamon's house for a whole day, and missed seeing the white pony. Eventually, it seemed safe enough to open my eyes and let them see I was awake again. I'd been unconscious for a whole day and night, they told me, from the time Sybil had found me lying on my bedroom floor early in the morning until the next day. Longer, maybe, for I was freezing cold when my cousin discovered me and raised the alarm, though I had had a blanket over me and a pillow beneath my head, which was strange. I had slept right through the midwinter ritual which Connor had performed on his own. I had missed the burning of the great log, Ilis informed me, and the cider and cakes. Indeed, I was still so weak I could scarcely stir from my bed. I had plenty of small visitors and was told many stories. Johnny came and broke the news to me that I was to ride north with him and his mother, and meet the other part of my family. Sybil slipped in alone, bringing Riona. My protest was overruled. I've explained it to Maeve, the child told me, solemn as an old woman, and she agrees. We'll make Maeve her own doll, all of us. Mother's going to show us how, but you need Riona back now. You need to take her with you when you go. The weariness went on. I was astonished at the way the effort of transformation had drained me, even though I had been forewarned. The body trembled and retreated from any challenge. The mind still held the terror of that helpless insect tucked away somewhere within the human consciousness. Next time, I thought, I would choose something bigger and stronger, and better able to look after itself. 3 whole days passed before I had recovered sufficiently to move on with my plan. I sat before my fire that third night. I had put away anything that might be dangerous. Riona was deep in the wooden chest, along with Derek's shawl and the tiny ring of woven grasses. If I had had the strength, I might perhaps have thrown these precious things away, destroyed them, lest they catch my grandmother's eye and give her ideas. But, sorcerer's daughter or no, I was not as strong as that. When all was safely stowed and the door bolted, I put my hand around the bronze amulet and focused on the flames. A mind twister has a dual purpose. It links the wearer with the bestower. It binds one to the other's will. It is also a type of conduit, an eye which opens between the two when it chooses. It was thus, I believed, that my grandmother had been able to see me from time to time, to know what I was doing, although she was far away. She had said she could not see me all the time, only now and then in snatches. Such charms possess their own quirks, their own tricks. The link had always seemed stronger when I touched the amulet or held it. If I did that now and spoke an invocation of summoning, I thought she would come. I breathed deep and opened the eye of the spirit. I spoke the ancient words and I called to her. She was there in an instant, not present in the flesh, as at our last memorable encounter, but there in the heart of the fire. A pair of beady dark eyes and a powerful, demanding voice. "Ah! This I did not expect that you would bring me to you thus. I am thirsty for your news, child. Tell me." "I have done very well, grandmother." I could not quite keep the tremble from my voice. "I am all ears. Go on." "My plan is in place, as I told you it would be. The man Eamon has offered for me, formally, in return for information I can give him. He wishes to destroy another who is a part of the Alliance. I performed a transformation to obtain what he wanted. If he acts on this, it will surely spell the failure of the campaign. They cannot win without this man they call the Chief." "You performed a full transformation? Successfully?" "Yes, grandmother." "Without any help?" "Yes, grandmother." I looked straight into the fire and kept my expression guileless. "I see. And what was this information?" Somehow I had known she would put me to the test. It would not have been enough simply to fabricate a story, yet I was reluctant to tell her. In her hands, such information could be dangerous indeed. "It would mean little to you, grandmother. It is simply something which may give Eamon the opportunity to do as he wishes. Once I have told him, he can work out how." Grandmother's eyes narrowed alarmingly. "Vanya," she said very softly, "you're worrying me, child. I thought you understood what the result would be if you attempted to disobey me. It seems you did not. Must I show you again?" The fire seemed to glow brighter around her features, a fierce flame of gold and red, save for the dark holes of her eyes. Surely she had not guessed the truth already. Surely she could not know I planned to defy her. "I did not mean," I stammered. "Tell me, Fanya, what is this highly significant piece of strategy you have discovered? Not trying to play games with me, are you? Games make me think of children. Children love games, don't they? Climbing, balancing, swinging high. Risky business, especially for the smaller ones. Still, your uncle has many daughters. Too many, really." I was shaking. It enraged me to think that she still had the power to manipulate me thus. Her casual dismissal of the girls terrified me. There seemed no choice but to tell her. The amulet felt hot against my breast, as if it held something of her own anger. "It's to do with swimming," I said, trying for a little detail as I could. "A small group of them, and it's hazardous." "More," grandmother commanded. "They'll swim across from one island to another to sink the enemy's ships. During this venture, the man Eamon despises will be at great risk. I plan to tell Eamon of this. Let him seize what opportunity he can from it." It's not much. What if this doesn't work?" "It will work, grandmother. And there's more. I am to travel north with my Aunt Leodin to Innis Ayla. There I will be close to the heart of the campaign, near to its secrets. I will be ideally placed to carry out your work." "I see. Aren't you pleased with what I have done, grandmother?" "There are bad influences in that place. It's old and full of presences. Your father would feel quite at home there, no doubt. Just make sure it's not the same for you. Remember, the only sound advice is mine, and don't be tempted to remove the amulet. You need it, for this is your most dangerous time. Take it off, and that may well be the end for you." "I understand, grandmother," I said in a suitably meek tone. Indeed, I understood all too well, for it had happened before the day Derek came to Glencarna. Take it off and she would know immediately, and harry me to do her will with every weapon she possessed. She needed me. She could not do this without me. That was clearer all the time. Although I might long to remove this dark talisman, I must wear it to the end, until the moment of final conflict. I must carry her charm until the instant she learned I was not her tool, but her adversary. What would happen then I could not say, but I knew deep inside me that this must play itself out to the end, as the old ones had said, as she herself had said. A momentous unfolding of events. "What about this fellow Eamon?" Grandmother asked suddenly. How do you feel? How do you feed him the information he wants, if he's in one place and you're in another? It had not taken her long to discover this weakness in my strategy. I tried not to let my misgivings show. "I'll find a way," I told her with what I hoped was an air of confidence. "He must be a part of the final campaign. There must come a time when all are assembled together. And Asaila is the key to this, grandmother. That's where I must be." "You seem different, child. Something has changed. Don't forget what I showed you." I shuddered at the menacing sweetness of her voice. "I have not forgotten, grandmother, and I have changed. Now that I know, now that I have felt the satisfaction it gives to make a man beg for my touch, now that I have experienced the power of transforming, I am beginning to understand. I am starting to know why you act as you do. I am realizing that to be a sorceress has its own rewards." "That's as may be," she sniffed, but I could hear in her tone that she was pleased. So far, then, she had believed me. It was just as well she was not fully present, or she might smell my cold fear. It was a perilous game I played with her. "What if it doesn't work?" she demanded. "Do you know what you must do then?" "It will work. If not, I will find another way." "You needn't find one, Fanya. I'll tell you. It should be obvious. Now answer me one thing. Is he there, the son, the one they call the child of the prophecy? Have you seen him?" "Yes, grandmother," I said cautiously, not liking the tone of her voice. "Remember," she said, "at the end, the only thing that matters is him. He's the only piece of real value in this game. The rest of them, the druid, the warrior, the chieftain, the lady, they'll stand by him and give their all for him, and die for him if need be, to achieve the long goal. He's in the prophecy, and they all rely on that. Their confidence comes from that, from him. At the end, all you need to do is remove the child of the prophecy, and the whole thing collapses. Wait until the last moment and see he fails. If you haven't the stomach to kill again, there are other ways. You know those already. It's easy enough to find someone else to do the dirty work for you. What's the fellow like? Not letting yourself grow fond of him, I hope." "No, grandmother, I'm not so foolish." I'm not so sure if that's the truth. You were soft-hearted with those children. I expect this is a charming young man, and you are your mother's daughter after all." I saw my mother stepping from the rock again. Felt the air passing, the touch of the salt spray, stepping off into oblivion. That always seemed to me impossible. I shivered. "Believe me," I said with hard-won steadiness. "I would not dare to lie to you." "Very wise, Fanya. Still, I think I'd like a little demonstration of loyalty. Here's what we'll do. We'll put this young warrior to the test, and you as well. We'll see just how strong he is, just how much pain he can endure. It'll be helpful to know that for later. This trip north is an ideal opportunity. No need for you to work a spell, granddaughter. Save your power for the end. You must be at your best then. I will do what is necessary. I won't kill the fellow, that's your job, and comes much later. I'll just play with him a little." I felt a prickling down my spine. It was difficult to look into her fierce, fire-circled eyes and keep my features calm. "Thank you, Chaos, for the little heart. I appreciate that, and welcome in." "I don't understand," I said. "What purpose can there be in this?" "I told you, Fanya. It's a test. An easy one for you, since there's no need for you to do anything at all. Indeed, that is your part in it. Precisely nothing. You'll simply watch him and take no action. It isn't much to ask. I stood silent as the meaning of her words became clear to me. I understand, I whispered. What kind of charm do you plan to use on him? Grandmother cackled with amusement. You need to ask me that. You with your disfigurement of children. Come now, where's your imagination? What would you use? This was indeed a test. I held my expression impassive while my stomach churned with disgust. You need to be subtle, I told her. My Aunt Leodin sees a great deal. If you plan to reverse the charm later, it should be something invisible. Night terrors, maybe, said Grandmother encouragingly. I could drive the fellow mad with visitations of death and disaster. I recalled the steadiness in Johnny's grey eyes. I don't think that would work very well, I told her. Well then, she grew rapidly impatient. What's it to be? I knew the answer, though I did not want to tell her. At least what was on my mind would be easily reversible. And to keep her trust, I must continue to play this game. A pain in the belly, I said. That could be natural. Something that starts as a minor disturbance and grows worse. What do you want from Johnny? Groveling subservience? An acknowledgement of his own frailty? What are you hoping to prove? Her lips curved, showing the lines of neatly pointed teeth. How long he can endure, she said. More important, how long can you watch without helping him? If you are both strong, the final conclusion of our venture will be so much more satisfying, Fanya. So much. Indeed, I can hardly wait to watch that. Very well. A bellyache it shall be. You'll know all about that since I've demonstrated it to you myself in the past. Rows of little green teeth gnawing their way through living flesh, a pain that makes the nerves jangle and the sinews tremble, an agony that makes a man dream of death as a blissful release. And just remember, there's no expectation of you at all, my dear. Only that you watch and not act. Only that. I nodded, trying not to shiver. You won't see me, Grandmother said. But I will see you, Fanya. Make sure you act as I have instructed. Yes, Grandmother, I said. Don't worry, she went on. I'll let the fellow recover in time. I want him well enough to take his place in the final battle, after all. I want these folk to savor the taste of success until the very last moment, then we'll snatch their victory away. Only then. Human folk and fair folk will go down together before our very eyes. What a sight that will be. I'll probably add a few little touches of my own, I think. I won't be able to resist. I will do as you bid me, I said. And my plan will work with Eamon, I promise you. But I'll be a long way away. You may not hear from me until the last. I'll know where you are and what you're doing, said the Lady Oonagh. I always do. Not quite always, I thought. Farewell, then, I said. Farewell, child. I have great hopes for you. Don't disappoint me. Don't forget your father and that other one who's never far from your thoughts. No, Grandmother. I made my words firm and sure as the flames died down, and the glowing eyes faded quite away, and the evil voice fell silent. I waited a long time, and when I judged it safe, I went to the chest and took out Riona, and I lay on the bed hugging her like a child. I could not stop shivering, even with a blanket over me, and after a time I got up and went to stand by the window, watching the gentle fall of snow through the shadowy air of the winter night. I thought of my father, all alone in the dark hills of the honeycomb, and I spoke softly, using the tool he had given me to maintain my courage, to focus on what was and is and must be. Whence came you? From the cauldron of unknowing. What do you seek? Wisdom, understanding. I seek the way to the light. Okay. Minor break so I can have a beverage. You know what, Milo? I don't think I have my water. Oh, yes I do.
Castle got it for me. There you go. Having my H2O. Just a little bit. You used your mom voice to put the kids to bed? It's generally how it has to go before they listen. Hello, Acavier. Welcome. I love the dramatics. I enjoy it. Did you guys fluster Maddie? What did you do to him? Don't break him. He is somewhat fragile. So be gentle. I used my mom voice to put the ghost kids to sleep. Gotcha. My mother has been asking me to go over to her place to sage her house. Or her living room, I guess, because she thinks that there is a ghost controlling her little Roomba robot. I don't think it's a Roomba. I think it's like an off-brand, but you know, those little things that scurry around the floor. She's like, it should only last for like 2 hours, but it's lasting for 8 hours, and that's impossible. And I'm like, okay, sure. The ghost in the machine. I don't know. I think she believes that it's just trying to get attention. I'm like, well, if it's not hurting you, like, leave it alone. If it's making your little robot work longer, isn't that a good thing? I don't know. I don't know. I gave her some sage. I'm like, you can sage it if you want. Go for it. I just like it for, like, the smell. It's like cleansing in a more tangible way. There you go, Milu. Simmer pot would be good. I like to do that. We have sage outside and rosemary. I like to do both of those. But, yeah. She made me laugh. She's like, it won't turn off. It's driving me crazy. Like, go trap it in another room or something. Oh, okay. We are getting there. I think we got about halfway through. Possibly? Yeah, we got about halfway through. We're actually making pretty good time on this one. It's only been an hour. Oh, yes, 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 lavender. That's good for this time of year, for sure. Yeah, she did turn it off, though, Bethany. That's what she says. I don't know. I was not there. I cannot claim the validity of these words, but she claims that she turned it off, was unplugged, and it still goes about its business of cleaning the floor. I don't know. Doesn't really sound like a bad thing to me, but I suppose it could get annoying if it does make noise, if you were hearing it all the time, especially when you're trying to sleep or something. But yeah, I was like, here, I have some sage, go for it. She's like, it doesn't smell like anything. I'm like, yeah, because it's dried. You just, if you crinkled it a little bit, it would smell. I promise. That's so funny you told her about Berglund gnomes. I mean, you know, I have like 2 bags, I'm not even joking, 2 bags of socks that don't have a pair. And I have dumped both of them out on my bed to look for the pairs, and they're all singles. I don't understand how it happens. Hello, King Norcalis. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a wonderful evening. Why is it always freaking socks? I don't know. Like, that's why I think people get this notion like there must be these little creatures stealing them, right? Like little house elves from Harry Potter. Instead of gifting the socks, they're taking them. Yeah, it's insane. I've come to I used to just love buying all of the fun socks. Like, I love socks. Or I did before I was like getting hot flashes all the time. So, I just have all these fun socks without a pair, and I think I'm just gonna get rid of them all, find some other way to repurpose them, and just buy a bunch of all of the same sock. We will all wear the same socks. Well, maybe not Castle, because he's got big feet. And I have little feet, so I don't think that would work. But my son and I can probably share the socks, and just don't have to worry about it, right? I'd love it if they could just take the whole pair instead of just one. Yes, I agree. I think that's part of it, right? They have to only take one. I can wear women's shoes. Oh my gosh. Even, I mean, I'm a woman and I have a hard time wearing women's shoes because my feet are skinny. Just everything about me is thin. Socks are the bane of my existence. I can share socks and shoes with my 8 and 10-year-old. My feet are tiny. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, my child had big feet growing up, so yes. Definitely was able to share the socks. Oh, that's funny. I mean, he's in the, I don't know, is it a tween? At what point is it officially teenager? You're a size 5.5 in a shoe? Like a US size? That is tiny. I have long feet, but they're skinny, so I'm actually a 7.5, which is pretty average, right? But they're thin. So, oh, hello, Maiko Psycho, and thank you so much for the raid. And again, like, I'd love to do the Viking raspberries for you guys. I have tried. I think just maybe my mouth is too small for this horn. I don't know, but I have not been able to do it. It's just sad. So, my instep is so tall, though, I need a 7-inch cute boots. Oh, yeah. Okay. The teenagers have the suffix teen in their age. So, okay, so it has to be 13. 12, so like 10 to 12 is tween. Because they didn't hit the teen part. Yeah. My teenager is very quickly approaching young adulthood. Which is crazy for me. Oh no, so you have wide feet. I think that's more normal. I think people have wide feet. I have like alien feet. Watch TikTok get mad at me for mentioning feet. It's gonna be like, you're doing something inappropriate. I would not put it past TikTok. I feel like, you know, TikTok is just trying to get us off the platform. Because how do you go from like over 300 people in the live streams to like a scattering of a handful? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Tweenager? There you go. It's the autocorrect. Was just creating acronyms that don't exist. That's funny. Yeah, inappropriate. What is that? A pigeon twerking? Oh my gosh. Right, Maddie? I know. TikTok is so sensitive. All your bear cubs are adults? I know, it's... I only have the one, so it's gonna be weird for me. I have been told I have hobbit feet with how hairy they are. That is funny. I mean, lean into it. Lean into it. I would take that as a compliment. If somebody told me I was a hobbit, I would take that as a compliment. I don't have hobbit feet. I do kind of have like this weird mix of a hobbit and an elf lifestyle melding together. Don't ask me how that happens, but it does. Okay? It's just, it shows itself in certain things. The littlest turns 5 in June. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's crazy. You're 6'1" though? Well, that's okay. I mean, the actor that played Gimli was 6 something. He was very tall. Isn't he like 6'6" or 6'7" or something? Very, very tall. The kids call Oonagh the Oonagh the fairy lady. That's funny. That's cute. I'll take it. I have Nazgul feet. Oh no. So you have armor feet? Is that what you're saying? That's funny. Yes, I think it's fair to call me Big Sis, Maddie. I think that's fair. Yeah, I mean, we miss the D&D stuff too. Like, we enjoy that. We just can't, we haven't been able to set aside the time to actually keep up with that because, it takes a lot of effort to create all the stuff. And, like, I even bought a bunch of the Cthulhu stuff because I thought you guys might like to do, like a horror one. And I even put in all this work, like, making some maps and making them all fancy with, like, the lights. Like, you can't see in the room until, like, you actually move your marker to the room, like, all that stuff. And, like, I just have not had the time to get a session going with you guys because it's a commitment, you know? We have so much stuff going on, I swear. I would love to do Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, I would too. It looks like it would be super fun. It's way, like, the literature for Cthulhu Mythos is based. It looks so fun. I was like, you know what? I want to do this one. And I was like reading all the stuff that came with it, and it's a lot. And it is kind of weird how you have to jump around as the DM, like hosting it. So I'm gonna have to like use my son as a guinea pig and make him do it with me, so I can make sure I can do this seamlessly. It's very different. But yeah, I thought that would be super fun. I've got all that stuff. I've been like paying for a monthly subscription to the Forge, and we're not even using it. Just happens. D20 players get super tilted by D100 mechanics, even though they're more intuitive. Oh, yeah. I don't mind that. It's that you'll be directed to, like, let's say you're like, okay, you're gonna start here on page 5 for whatever reason for this story, right? And then when they get here, you're gonna jump to page 62. And then you're gonna jump to 39. I'm like, this doesn't seem very cohesive. So I gotta figure out how to navigate properly is the issue here. I'm close to beta running my one TTRPG I mentioned last stream. Yeah, I mean, we have a separate Discord for the D&D stuff, and I don't know if the Avray bot has changed at all, but I have the Avray bot in there, so if you want to use the Avray commands for anything, it's all set up in there. I did all kinds of stuff for that when we did D&D, so if you want to host one over there, you are more than welcome to do so. More than welcome to do so. What do you mean I have to roll under my DC? We might get back to ads before we get back to reading. That's possible. I'm just taking a little break for my throat. I am playtesting one of my friend's Halo RPGs. That's cool. That's really cool. I saw one, I keep getting an ad for this like Studio Ghibli inspired one that looks fun. I like that. I would totally be into that. But again, it just takes so much time.
I did see a game coming out, I think later this year. There's like a sale going on Steam, and it was showing some of the like coming soon. And there's this game, and I'm like, this looks very like Studio Ghibli coded. And I think some of this stuff is way too close. Like, I think it's cool. Like, I saw the main character using like the wind glider, like from Nausicaa, and the landscape looked very similar to Nausicaa, but the main character has a different design. But I think a lot of the world stuff and some of the other creatures were just probably a little too close to be okay. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Your throat has been hurting because of stress? Yeah. You need to drink some honey tea regularly, and you gotta manage the stress. I think that's probably pretty much everyone's number one issue, is how to manage the stress when it's taking over. Like, I don't even feel super stressed out. Like, I know I have stress, but I don't feel like I'm losing my mind. But I keep getting like crazy heart rates just out of nowhere. It'll just happen like when I get up to go get something from the fridge, and then it just won't stop for the longest time. The other night it kept me up all night. I was just like, okay. We'll just stare at the ceiling for a while. And talking too much, that'll happen. Which is why I'm taking a break, because when we get these really long chapters, by the end, I'm like trying to get it out. I wouldn't know how to function without stress. We can't survive without stress, Molly Sue. That's just kind of the truth. If we didn't have stress, our bodies and minds would literally fail, and we would just die off. We have to have stress. We have to have an opposing force to instigate that instinct in us to fight back and persevere and survive. If you don't have that, you die out. You go the way of the dodo. I work best under stress. Yeah, under pressure, right? A lot of people will have that same scenario where it's like, well, I'm going to procrastinate and put this off because I know I could write this paper at 3 a.m. the night before that it's due, right? And get a good grade. I've heard that story a lot. Without stress, we wouldn't wake up from sleep. Exactly. See? That's another aspect. Thanks to the military. Yep. I can believe that. I can do stress as long as it's not like super bad. See, then that's the thing. Like, you don't want to have like crazy anxiety attacks. You want to be able to manage that stress. You want to be able to thrive from the stress, not be debilitated by it. Most of my best writing ideas come from being busy and stressed, because that's just a part of life. It's just a part of life. Okay, Cargo, go ahead and get some sleep. And take care of your throat and your stress. Okay. Or in the case of CPTSD and learned helplessness, you go the way of Bartleby the Scrivener. Okay, so I'm not sure how long this will take. I'm gonna... You know what, if you guys just tell me if it's getting too late, but I'm gonna try to finish this chapter, okay? Oh, Bear bought a round for the tavern folks, so take a drink. It's mandatory. It's a different server, Maddie. I think I put the link up in the like D&D section of our Discord. I think I have like a pinned message talking about it, and there should be a link in there. If there is not, I will send you one later. You need to get to bed. Okay, no problem, Hannah. Have a good night. Thank you for coming in for a while. Of course, get some good sleep. Okay. Beers on bear, yeah, exactly. Alrighty, here we go. So warm. It was a strange time of year to travel. The weather inclement, the days at their shortest. I asked no questions about that. A message had been sent to Eamon along the lines Johnny had suggested. It was anticipated the recipient might be less than pleased with this missive, and waste no time in paying a call and asking questions. Our departure, therefore, took place on the day this letter was dispatched. By the time Eamon could ride to Seven Waters, I would be well gone. This was not stated in so many words, but I understood it. Maybe I should have made a show of protest, but my mind was taken up with other things, and I let it pass. Sounds good, card. Sounds good. We have ads in 5? Of course we do. It's okay. We have some snoozes, so I'm gonna keep reading. We'll just keep an eye on it. To my astonishment, the girls were distraught that I was leaving. Eilish wept. I had never thought the child had much regard for me. After all, I was a hopeless rider. Perhaps her tears were no more than habit. But Clodagh hugged me, and so did Deirdre, and their expressions were identically woeful. "Come home safe," said Clodagh. "We'll miss you terribly," sniffed Deirdre. "It'll be so boring when you're gone." "Goodbye, Fanya," Sybil said gravely. "You'll need to watch out for cats." I stared at her, understanding she had seen ahead, perhaps to a time of transformation. I could not ask her what she meant, not while the others stood close by, but I nodded acknowledgement. Maureen kissed me on both cheeks and gave me a gown of soft grey wool, which she said would be nice and warm, for the winds bit hard up there. Maureen was not weeping. My aunt's apprentice healer, Evan, was to remain at Seven Waters in the period before the campaign, since he had the strength for bone-setting and a skill with surgery my cousin lacked. I had seen the way the two of them touched hands and exchanged shy glances when they thought nobody was looking, and understood the glow that brightened Maureen's pale features. As for Maeve, I had made that farewell in private, and the little last tale I told her was just for the two of us. The image of this child's injuries and her courage was lodged deep within me. Now I would use it to give me strength. Before we left, I made myself go to the kitchen and seek out Dan Walker's old Auntie Janice. She sat in her chair by the hearth as always, like an ancient guardian of this domain, a kind of house spirit watching with benign discipline over all. That was fanciful. This was no otherworld creature, but a mortal woman of advanced years. The wrinkled skin and sunken cheeks told me that. The knobbly hand clutching the stick confirmed it. But her dark eyes were still bright and shrewd. "Well, child, going away, I hear. So what do I tell our lad when he comes after you?" "He won't," I said decisively. Perhaps great age made one bold. She certainly had a way of coming out with whatever she had to say, however unpalatable. "He knows that. He's not to come, not any more. Anyway, he's settled in the West, I told you. The travelling man never settles. What do I say to him? No message? Or shall I make it up? Tell him what I see in your eyes, maybe? He won't come. But if he did, I would tell him..." The words I needed fled. The only message that was in my heart was one that was all wrong. One that could never be spoken. Derek must not know it. He must be given no reason to come after me, not while my grandmother worked her evil magic against him. If he did, I made myself say, I would tell him. Indeed, I would command him to return home and never come back. I would say he and I are no good for each other and never will be. If he follows me, it can only lead to pain and sorrow. Tell him I will look after myself. It's better that way. Anything else? Janice had pursed her wrinkled lips and raised her black brows. Clearly she was unimpressed. There was silence between us. "And tell him," I whispered, Tell him I haven't forgotten. Tell him I'm trying to do what's right. Gosh, sorry. My nose is so itchy. I don't know what's going on. It's always when I sit over here. Maybe it's this blanket. You know what? I should see what this is made out of. Because if there's any Angora in it, I don't know what it is, but Angora makes my nose itch like crazy, and I don't know why I have not thought of that before now. Yes, I see that it was the last one, where I'm gonna continue for the 4.5 minutes. Okay. There was silence between us amid the creaking turn of the spit, where a whole side of mutton roasted, and clatter of dishes, the laughter and joking of warriors as they snatched a moment of warmth and company, before returning to the endless drills and sorties of campaign preparation. "It's a lonely way you've chosen," observed Janice quietly. "And you not 16 years old, a child still. A long, lonely way." "I'm used to that," I said fiercely. Perhaps it was the look in her eyes. Perhaps it was the kindness in her voice, I cannot say. But it brought back images of time past, sharply. And if I could have wept then, I would. "I have memories," I told her. "There's always those." "Not a lot to build your life on," said Janice. We rode north. From the moment we departed the Keep of Seven Waters, Johnny became one of the guard, the uniform dark hood rendering him indistinguishable from his fellows. All seemed well. My grandmother's small voice had been silent since the night I had summoned her, and heard her plans for Johnny. All rode on swiftly. None showed signs of illness or pain. There was no telling when she would strike him down, though the amulet felt warm all the time now, and I took this as a sign that she watched me. Our guards maintained their silent, vigilant presence around me and my Aunt Leodin as we traversed wooded slope and wide forest way, by frozen pond and icy streamlet. They led us across narrow tracks in marshy wilderness, through high passes where great hunting birds soared overhead, and the ground was iron-hard with frost. They camped with us in a place of standing stones where we slept in the shelter of an ancient barrow marked with secret symbols. All the way they kept their masks on, except to eat. There was no knowing one from the other. "A form of protection," Leodin explained. "Necessary, in view of the markings they wear." "If those are so dangerous, why adorn themselves thus?" I asked. Leodin smiled. "A symbol of pride, of belonging. Our warriors consider it a great honor to be allowed the mark. Not all are accepted into this band." "What are the prerequisites? Noble blood? Brave deeds?" "Each man is unique. Each brings his own qualities. If he has something to contribute, something of which we have need, he will be accepted as long as he passes the test." "Test? What sort of test?" "A test of skill and of loyalty. It varies. You'll find folk of many kinds at Iniseva, men of all sorts, all colors and creeds." "Yes, it's the last one." "And women?" "Ah, yes, a few of those as well. We take a very particular breed to live in such a place, Vanya, a special kind of strength." "At Leodin," I said as we settled to sleep at the strange arched space of the old barrow. "This place here. Have you read the signs, the inscriptions?" There was a pause. "No, Vanya," she said in an odd sort of voice. "This language, more ancient than any I have learned to decipher. I cannot read them." There was a question behind her words. "You understand," I said, "that this is so old no living man or woman knows the tongue, but I grew up in a place of standing stones. The markers of the sun's path were the daily companions of my childhood. Some of these signs I recognize." "I know it is a place of the old ones," my aunt said softly. A place of great power and wonder. She hesitated, then went on. They spoke to me here. The Fovra. Okay, I will do the ad. Whap whap. Gotta run the 3-minute ad, and then we can continue. Ah. I might have taken the tag off of this. Ugh. Oh well. I'm just gonna have to assume that it was Angora. Which is kind of sad, you know, it's like nice and soft, but I don't know what it is about rabbit fur. Ah. Yeah, sorry, Maddie. The invite to the D&D server is probably old, so I'll probably have to make a new one. Okay. You should have an invite. No. Okay, more coffee when we're done. Even though I probably shouldn't because it's already getting late. But I can't let it go to waste. One more minute. Oh, I lost TikTok again. I keep missing the thing. Or it kicked me off because I mentioned feet. I don't know. My bad. That was my fault. TikTok bothers me. So frustrating. I have a fictional elven question for you if I could ask it. Of course you can. I didn't even say that, Maddie. I didn't even say that. Ads are done. Very good. Thank you, Bear. Very good. I will let Cavier ask the question, even though it is fictional. If a young male elf wanted to project respect towards another by saying a phrase and holding his sword, how might he hold his sword while he says his phrase? I think it's very common that it would be holding it to the chest or outward because you don't want to point a blade at somebody you are showing respect to. If that makes sense. Usually if the pointy end is facing you, that's a threat. So, just saying. I mean, yeah, he could even like hold it up to like the forehead. Like it kind of just depends on what you would. Yes, blade down for sure. It could be up as long as it's not pointing towards the person. And
And honestly, I would probably only go with a sword up if it's something military specific. But that's just me. Okay. I'm gonna try switching out this blanket next time. My nose is dying. Okay. So Leodin has said that they are in the place where the Fulvera spoke with her. Or to her. I stared at her. You mean those creatures that seem part rock, part water, part furred or feathered thing? Those small beings that call themselves our ancestors? Perhaps I spoke incautiously. Here in the belly of the earth it seemed safe. I never saw them, Leodin said in wonder. I heard voices only. Deep, dark voices from earth and pool guiding me. Somehow I never thought them small. They seemed huge, old, and immensely powerful. And they bade me follow my heart, follow my instincts. It was here in this place that decisions were made of great import. Decisions that changed the path of things. Have you seen these folk, Fanya? That you speak of them thus as familiar beings? I nodded. The signs tell of an ancient trust. They speak of blood and darkness, and they speak of hope. That much I understand. My aunt stared at me in silence. Our lantern glowed softly in the darkness of this subterranean space. Farther down the huge empty chamber, some of Johnny's men had settled to sleep, and we kept our voices low. After a while, Leodin said cautiously, Do these same folk guide you, my dear? Do you believe them benign? This was dangerous territory. I could not know at any time if my grandmother were listening or no. It seemed a safe place, but nowhere was safe while I wore the amulet, and to remove it was to summon her instantly. They have their own theories about how things should be done, but they have a habit of not explaining, of leaving me to work out what things mean. What happened with you? Did you follow their directions or make your own choices? Leodin sighed. The chair blanket needs googly eyes. Yeah. Both, I think. It was others' orders I disobeyed. What of you, Fanya? Whose path do you follow? A perilous question. A lonely one, I said. So I've been told. Like Yaren's, she asked me softly. I don't wish to speak of my father. I lay down with the blanket over my face. The weight of the amulet was heavy on me. Its small, malign shape seemed to burn most of the time now, as if I could not avoid my grandmother's scrutiny however well I played this new game. I wondered if she had heightened its power somehow, now that we were coming close to the end. Perhaps what I had suspected was true. Perhaps she feared me. I disregarded the burning. Pain was nothing. My father had taught me that lesson early. I learned soon enough that Johnny was not simply a kind young man who rescued blundering insects and held the hands of sick children. It was the habit of our silent guard to ride two ahead, two behind, with several men on each flank. Not always in sight of us, but close enough to be quickly by our side if need be. Leodin and I were clad in plain dark clothes, serviceable tunics and skirts, and sturdy winter boots. She rode a brown mare, the small gray which Eamon had lent me. Leodin had no qualms about that. Oh, the small gray mare, sorry. She's mine, the aunt said simply. A gift, and not from Eamon. It was certainly not my fault that she was once left behind. That creature's seen a lot, Fanya. Sad things, terrible things. I think it's time we took her home. We rode through a clearing. It was a bitterly cold morning, the ground crisp with frost, and scarcely a bird astir in the bare branches of the black thorns before and behind us.
This was a terrain where strange piles of stones dotted the hillsides, where one could not tell if their seemingly random heaps were in fact a work of man, or of something older, the winter shadows turning rock into goblin or bogle, giant or crouching earth dragon. The very undergrowth seemed malign, squat dark bushes reaching out long strands in thorny embrace to tear a skirt or stocking. Our pace was brisk. It seemed even the hooded warriors had no desire to linger in these parts longer than they must. The way narrowed until only one of our escort could be seen, the man in front of us. Someone shouted and he stopped dead. The two of us drew our horses to a halt behind, and Leodin reached out a reassuring hand toward me. Ahead of us on the track stood a group of ferocious-looking men, armed with knives, clubs, and small axes. Their apparent leader, a huge fellow with a patch over one eye and yellowed, rotting teeth, stepped forward and pointed his weapon at our guard. "Down you get," he ordered. "And no funny business. There's 6 of us and 1 of you, not counting your lady friends there. Nice and slow. Give me that sword, and the knife. Turn around. Now." To my astonishment, our man did exactly as he was told, without a word of protest. The attackers relieved him of his weapons and took the reins of his horse as if to lead it away. I stared in growing alarm as the man with the eye patch sauntered over to us, grinning. My aunt sat quietly, her gaze quite calm. Now they were stripping off our man's hood. Of the rest of our escort there was no sign. "Well, well, well," sniggered the leader of the group, coming up alongside my little horse. "What have we here?" I raised my hand, summoning the words of a spell. "No, Fanya," Leodin said softly. "No need for that." Behind the leader, his henchman had peeled back the warrior's mask to reveal the distinctive markings on his face. Someone swore, and I heard the words "painted man" spoken in a terrified mutter. The fellow by my side froze, then backed away, his face suddenly chalk white around the black of the eye patch. Then there were several small sounds, a whir, a twang, the thud of an arrow finding its mark. The man they had disarmed whirled about, felling one of his attackers with a strategically placed kick. Without any sort of struggle whatever. Suddenly there were 6 men lying on the hard ground, groaning or gasping, or, more ominously, quite silent. Behind and before, to left and to right, Johnny's men emerged from the cover of the rock, or tree, stowing small items away in belt or pocket. An arrow was retrieved messily. A short knife was used effectively. I shut my eyes. "Vanya, I'm sorry. Were you frightened?" This masked warrior spoke in Johnny's voice. The man the attackers had disarmed was reclaiming his weapons, replacing his hood as if such encounters were no more unusual than, say, rounding up sheep or slicing a loaf of bread. "I can look after myself," I snapped, forcing my heart to slow. "It seems an odd way of countering an ambush, that's all. You might have warned us." "We have our own ways, and that could hardly be called an ambush, far too inept. You didn't need to kill them. They were fools to attempt what they did and deserve no better. Besides, not all are dead. Some will carry a tale home, a tale of the painted man. This pass will be safe for a while until they forget and try again. They chose their victim poorly this time. Nobody touches my mother. Travel with her and you're assured of the best protection there is." His voice was steady, his manner assured as always. Had grandmother not yet worked her spell, then? Could I hope that, for her own reasons, she might choose not to enact this particular piece of cruelty? We rode on, and I pondered the oddity of it. That the very man my grandmother had bound me to destroy was the one who now ensured this expert force kept me safe from all harm. He carried his own death with him, and guarded it as carefully as the most precious treasure. It was good that he was strong, for if she did go ahead with her little plan, the trial would tax him hard. My grandmother's mastery of such spells was matched only by her complete lack of scruples. She had presided over the thrashing, fluttering death of many a small creature as she demonstrated one charm or another. She had viewed dispassionately my own agony as she punished me with knives of glass in the head, with bizarre swellings of tongue or throat, with cruel alterations of sight or hearing. Did not she watch calmly over her own son's slow, wasting demise? Grandmother would use the craft coolly and effectively against my cousin. I just hoped she would not keep it up for too long. I had learned to recognize Johnny among our identically masked attendants in their plain garments. He was the shortest of them, in height not so much taller than myself, and his back was as straight as a small child's, his head proud, his shoulders set very square. They changed horses from time to time, but I knew him. As we rode over northward, ever northward to the farthest shore of Ulster, I watched him, thinking soon, very soon, he would have to halt and dismount, or fall from his horse convulsed with pain. I knew the spell. She had used it on me once. Even the strongest man could not endure it long. The hills and valleys, the hidden streams and misty woodlands passed us steadily by. Ahead of me my cousin rode on, his carriage as upright as ever, his hand relaxed on the reins. I watched in vain for any sign of illness, but there was nothing. Indeed, by dusk I began to wonder if the child of the prophecy was somehow protected against this charm, perhaps by those powers of the forest that my grandmother so loathed. I felt the heat of the amulet against me, and I knew that she was close. The small triangle seemed ever more finely tuned to her presence, its burning a clear message that she was watching me, watching Johnny, that she would indeed test us both. We camped for the night in the shell of an old building, where crumbling stone walls and the remnants of beam and thatch offered a precarious shelter against the winter chill. The men took off their hoods and ate a frugal meal. Johnny seemed a little pale, and I did not see him partake of the food, but his voice was steady. He smiled at the men's jokes and bid us a courteous good night before retreating to take his turn on watch. There seemed not much amiss with him. We should reach the coast in another day and a half, Leodin told me as we rode out the next morning. There a boat would take us across to the island. There was a note in her voice which spoke of anticipated delight. She could not disguise her longing to reach our destination. She did not ask if her son was well, nor did I. I watched my cousin as the track became steep and dangerous. I kept my eyes on him as he led or followed or guided, and still his back was straight and proud, and his horse moved steadily onward.
Who said you could be on the couch? See this guy?
Ooh,
Just taking advantage of me not being here.
pretty much.
Who said you could be on the couch, dummy? Huh?
Good night, Cassie. Have a good sleep. And hopefully we'll be able to see you on Tuesday. Have a good day tomorrow, even though it will be long.
How things going? Everybody behaving?
For the most part. Maddie had to take a break. Because I think I missed the conversation, but somebody flustered Maddie.
Oh, I see. You got 3 raids. You got His Highness came in, you got
Yep.
Michael, and you got Maddie. Should I give them all a toot on the raid horn for you?
It's late now. I think.
That sounds like a yes. Okay, here we go.
No, that's.
There you go. Everybody got their toot on the raid horn.
Maddie says hello.
Hello, Maddie.
Turned it down while you blew it. Hopefully that helped. Alright, you got your raid horn. There you go. Okay. Johnny held his head high as if he were a hero from some old tale. The amulet was burning me. She was watching me, watching him. It came to me suddenly that I had been quite wrong. Not only had she already worked her charm perhaps days ago, but she tightened it all the time. Piercing, stabbing, grinding. It was not the lack of magic that made this malevolent thing invisible, but the sheer fortitude of the man who endured it. I rode along with jaw clenched and brow beaded with sweat. My hands shook as I held the reins. "Give in to it," I willed him. "Don't be so strong. The sooner you give in, the sooner it stops." Around us the others rode on, quite unaware of the battle being played out in their midst. There were only 3 who knew anything was amiss: my cousin and I, and the sorceress whom nobody could see. We made camp again for the night. Johnny retired early. He did not eat. I glimpsed the gray pallor of his face and noted the way he took care to avoid his mother's scrutiny. In the night I awoke and heard the sound of retching out beyond the rocks, in the shadows, and I heard Leodin stir, but she did not wake. Soon after dawn we rode on, and the men rode on by us silent. The smell in the air was like home, sharp and salt. Gulls passed overhead, screaming. I could hear the distant roar of the sea. But there was no enjoyment in these dear familiar things, not in this far place, with the whole length of Erin between me and my father. Not when I would never walk these cliffs with a friend by my side, and sit in the shelter of the stones in a silent companionship of total trust. Such things I would never have again. I did not deserve them. Never had. The amulet was hurting me. I would bear its brand on the flesh of my breast. That was nothing beside what my cousin must be enduring. She watched. She was close. I could not help him, even though I knew the charm of reversal, even though I had it at my fingertips. I must not use it. The land opened up. The sky seemed to lighten and broaden as we moved steadily northward. There were few trees here. Those that clung on to this wind-swept corner of the land nestled into gullies, or clustered in pockets of shelter beneath small hills. 2 men rode off at a gallop, no doubt gone ahead to announce our arrival. The others were spread out along the track, still quiet. Our journey would be ended soon. Now, as we came up a rise, and the first distant view of a northern ocean came in sight beyond a pale line of cliffs, I heard her whisper inside my head. "Tempting, isn't it?" she goaded me. "You know how it eats at him. You recognize it. The boy's strong. He's one of those Fovera throwbacks, and a warrior besides, trained to endure. That's his father's doing. I underestimated him. We won't make that mistake next time. And you're nearly there, running out of opportunities. I'll just take this one step further, I think. Close to the point where the body gives up in defeat. Close to the moment when the heart flags and fails. So close. You know how it is, Fanya." I did know. Imagine some wild creature feasting on your living body as you lie there aware and helpless before its rapacious appetite. Imagine the pain as it flows into every corner of your body, every fiber of your being. I knew that was how it was for him. I waited, trembling as I watched him. My fingers shook with my effort to hold back the counterspell. I made myself swallow the words that would free him. And at last there was a reaction. His mount trembled and halted, and Johnny slid from the saddle to the hard ground of the track. I could hear his breathing, sharp, quick. Still he kept on his feet. Where any other man would have been writhing on the ground, screaming and clutching his belly. Behind him my own horse had stopped still, shivering. I was incapable of speech. Was this enough for grandmother? Why couldn't Johnny fall or scream or give some acknowledgement of defeat, so she would stop? I knew she could take this no further without risk of killing the man where he stood. What was he, Cuchulainn reborn, that he could withstand such agony? Another of the men rode back, and a quiet exchange took place. Leodin was well behind us, out of sight. Now the other man dismounted and stood by the track, holding the reins of both horses. Behind his mask, Johnny was looking at me. He indicated with the smallest jerk of his head that I was to follow, and set off on a side track to the east, where a group of 3 ancient stones had been placed atop a slight rise. On them grew a crust of grey lichen, and I was reminded of that strange rock-like creature which had spoken to me once of age-old trusts and future paths. I got down from my horse and left her with the others.
My greetings to the bearer as well. I was waiting till you're done.
You're good.
Some more coffee there, lovey.
Thank you. I'm just trying to get us to the end of the chapter. We only have a couple more pages. 3, I think. And I followed, and if my steps were unsteady, what with my limping foot and the uneven ground, his were more so. Still he walked, and spoke not a word, but I could hear in his breathing how he forced himself silent when everything in him was screaming pain. I wondered then that my grandmother did not simply screw this charm up to its fullest force, and kill the child of the prophecy once and for all. That would be easier, surely, than this cruel game of tests and trials. She had no need of me to quench Seven Waters' hope of victory. Already Johnny teetered on the brink of death, and without Johnny the battle could not be won. We halted in the shadow of the ancient stones, on the eastward side out of sight of the path where the others waited. My cousin peeled back his mask. I looked at him, and he looked at me, his face ashen, his eyes bright with pain and fierce with determination. There is something here she cannot defeat, I thought. Perhaps it's raw courage. Perhaps something more. A magic older and deeper than her own, a power that guards his steps, and that guides him toward the destiny foretold for him. Johnny drew a shuddering breath, and at that moment the throbbing heat from the amulet dwindled and died, until it was simply a small triangle of metal on a cord around my neck. She was gone, and the spell still held him. "I don't think," said Johnny in a voice that was a very thread of pain, "that you understand quite what it is you're dealing with here." His hand, laid against the weathered stone to support him, was white-knuckled. I drew a deep breath. "What do you mean?" I asked him. "Tell me," he managed, gasping for control. "How much longer? Not for myself. We are trained to endure, but I don't want my mother worried." I stared into his pallid, sweat-drenched face, with his bold raven pattern, a face whose look of raw courage did not seem to have faltered for an instant. He thought that I had done it. He thought I was the one responsible for this cruel torture. No wonder he had said nothing. And now grandmother was gone, and she had not released him. With a muttered word and a slight movement of my hand, I reversed the charm. It was only then that his control was momentarily lost. He let out his breath all of a sudden, and slumped to the ground with his back against the stone and his eyes closed. As for me, I was instantly drained of energy, and I sat down abruptly beside him. The sky was clear, the breeze fresh and clean. Birds wheeled and cried high overhead. It seemed somehow all wrong, as if we were quite out of place. These things belonged in a time of long ago, a time of innocence. Not here where all was danger and difficulty, hurt and fear. "Understand," Johnny said after a while, not opening his eyes, "that I have a path to tread and a mission to accomplish, and nothing's going to stop me. Nothing." His voice was a ferocious whisper, daunting in its certainty. If I had ever doubted that this was the hero of prophecy spoke of, I doubted no longer. "I was not responsible for this," I said shakily. "But I don't expect you to believe me." I could tell him no more than that. I had already failed my grandmother's test. She had left me no choice but to intervene. I would not risk revealing the truth to him. "I see," my cousin said in a tone which could have meant anything. "Why did you bring me with you?" I asked him bluntly. He opened his eyes and managed a very small grin. "I overruled my mother," he said shakily. "She did not want you at Innis Isla. As to why, I cannot say, save that you seem to be in trouble and in need of protection, and that this is something we do quite well. And do you regret your decision now?" "No, cousin, I do not. My judgment seldom fails me." "Some folk think that is extremely foolish," I said cautiously. "Do you think it foolish, Vanya?" I would not risk answering aloud, but I shook my head and offered him my hand as he got slowly to his feet. You have great strength of will, I said as we began to make our way back. He walked gingerly as if testing each part of his body to be quite sure the pain was really gone. I am my father's son, said Johnny. And I my father's daughter, my heart told me. So we returned to the track and mounted our horses as if we had merely taken a stroll to stretch our legs, and we rode on to the northern shore of Ulster and to Ennis Isle of the Swan. Okay, we made it. We did it. Bookmark. You guys alive? Yeah, it's not too bad. We hit the 2-hour mark. Yeah. Woot woot. Yes, indeed. Hello, Tyler, and welcome in. You just made it for the end of the chapter. Ugh. But, yep, things are gonna start getting intense, that's for sure. Well, hello, Fallen Crow, and thank you very much. And my voice didn't completely die today, so there's an improvement. A little midway break was probably good. Even though I know it made Bethany grumpy. Thank you so much, Bear, for the biddies. Huzzah. We appreciate you so much. Shh. It's water. It's totally water. Okay, now that we're done reading, I can do a rant if you really want a rant, Santana, if you're still in here. It's okay, Bethany, I'm just teasing you. I'm sorry. You will come to realize very quickly that I am a teaser to the people that are friends. But if it bothers you, you can say something and I will stop, but it is just in my nature to tease because I like to razz my friends and my friends razz me back. It's just part of how it goes. And hello, Gobo Forge! Hello and welcome. We just finished reading chapter 11 of Child of the Prophecy. So we can do a rant if Santana is still in here, since he cashed one in. But he might have dipped out. Or we could do some songs. She teases me relentlessly. I am not as bad as Destiny and Aaron, though. But yes, I do tease Maddie. But I try to be kind to his sensibilities. Tessa and Marin, my main characters in my recent book, love teasing themselves every chance they get. Yeah, it's just kind of, it's like a common friendship thing. Erin is ruthless. Yeah, she is like... Reminds me of a time long past when I was young and a jerk. She's not a jerk. She is a savage, but like, I will just admit I was definitely a jerk sometimes in my teenage years. I was very cynical, you know? Like, I don't know if you guys remember that cartoon, Daria. I think I could be likened to a character like her. But I was very savage with my comments. So I got better, I think. A little bit. Because I don't want to be mean. But when I was a teenager, I didn't really care if I was mean. Also, how was the water? It's delightful. It is the best water I've ever had. The best in the world. Okay, you want to hear something funny though? Out here in LA, there is a water tasting bar. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's like this upscale place. It's real, okay? I'm not lying to you. where you go and you pay disgusting amounts of money to try water from different parts of the world. And they pour it into your glass like it's a vintage wine. I have not been. I saw it on television and I was flabbergasted. My grandpa used to tell people, if I don't pick on you or tease you, I don't like you. And that is 100% correct, Tyson. Because if I don't like you, I'm not talking to you. I'm not pointing you out. I'm not saying anything. I ignore your existence. That's how that goes. $100 per cup? Probably. I don't know. I mean, we're dealing with some crazy prices in California, so probably. Maybe 100 a bottle. I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah, I will not be doing that. But, you know, just find some crazy stuff out here in Los Angeles. But, what would you like to do for the rest of the evening, my friends? $100 for 4 liters of milk in Vancouver? What? Are you serious, or are you, like, exaggerating for a joke? Because if that's true, that's insane. They're basically, like, telling you not to drink dairy. Yeah, and that'll happen. That will definitely happen. And considering the process, like, if you're looking to get good quality ingredients for anything, like if you actually took the time to look at how it starts and goes through its process to get to you, you understand why it's so expensive. And you have to wonder, like, wow, how is it this cheap that I'm getting it with all this work that goes into it? And then you realize it's because the stuff that you have access to is not good quality. So you're good, Destiny, no problem. I feel up to a song or two, I can definitely do that. Did you look it up? Ray's and Stark Bar in Los Angeles is renowned for its water tasting bar, offering a unique experience where guests can sample waters from around the world. The bar features a water sommelier. Sommelier? Are you serious? Who provides tasting notes and insights into the water's origins and terroir. Guests can enjoy a water tasting menu that includes a variety of waters, with prices ranging from $8 to $20 per bottle. The bar's extensive menu, which includes waters from 10 different countries. Okay, that's insane. Why? Why? Like, I get why, but also it's silly. Do you know Tales of Luria by Sail North? I do not, but I can certainly add it to the list. I got all the songs in the Discord song recommendations, and I put it in a separate Spotify playlist so I can start listening to them and get used to them so I can sing them for you. So, wait, what did I just see? I saw something. Oh. I see. I feel like we're playing D&D. Yeah. I'm of 2 or 3 minds with teasing. 1 is I like teasing my friends. 2, I don't like being teased. 3, I like being teased but not used to it. I think that's where number 2 comes in. It's very confusing. That is a little confusing, Bethany, I'm not gonna lie. But I kind of get it. You're not sure. And I think it's totally fine to say, like, I'm not sure how I feel about it. But think about it, you know? And when you have your answer, you can say it whenever you feel like it. Destiny, I might make a possum class just for you and my other RPG. That's funny. You're gonna head out? Okay, have a good night. Thank you for hanging out with us and enjoying the story with me. There was more, but the rest wasn't important. Yeah. Can't imagine why. I requested Tales of Luria a while ago to Castle. Okay, but did you put it in the song recommendations in Discord? Because that's what I'm looking at, Maddie. I know Castle doesn't always have the time to go through all that stuff, but I go through all that stuff. That's where I get my information. So if you want me to sing it, that's where you gotta put it. I'm sorry. Or you can DM me, whatever. I need to get myself off to bed. Thank you. Oh, of course. Have a good night, Frost. Thank you so much. Have a good sleep. Alright, let's see. When I was on horseback, okay. I have pillows I can throw. I'm sure you do. Just trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I wonder if they taste different, like a water tester swirling their body. They do, actually. Because if you think about it, the springs that all this water is coming from are in very different geographical locations. And so the mineral makeup of the water is going to be different. And those minerals are what make your water taste like something. Does that make sense? So if I recall, and as I would assume, even though that makes an ass out of you and me, whatever, they're getting this water from the springs, right? Like they're not gonna want to get this processed water somewhere. Like they're like, we want the from the ground water before any of the animals poop in it, right? So that's what it tastes like. Have you looked through the recommended? So I did. I just said I have a separate Spotify list with the songs that were listed in that channel that I need to learn. It's water? Water does taste different depending on where you are. Yes, it does. Because like if you get one of those crazy filters that filters everything out of it, even the minerals, like yeah, it's probably not going to taste like anything because nothing else is in it. But whoever says that water doesn't taste like something is lying, okay? It's a lie. Why can you get several different bottles of water and they all taste different then? Because you know people are picky about their bottled water. I want coffee. Yeah, I know. She has the Sail North song I asked for. That's a sequel to Tales of Luria, yes. Yeah, let me see what the list was. Because I have it right here. What do you know? Technology. Okay. I have Come Away by Rose Betts. Where's Your Rider by the Oh Hellos. The Last Shanty by the Celtic Connection. I think that's what it was supposed to be. I wasn't super sure, but I think that's what it was. And Black Fox by Heather Dale. And you want me to do When I Was on Horseback. When I was on horseback. If I can spell correctly, that would be great. I swear, you would... The way I type on phones, it's like I have gigantic thumbs, and I don't. You know, they're not gigantic, but I type like that. I don't get it. Okay, When I Was on Horseback by Steel Eye Span. Nope, don't say it. I just want to add it. That one? Yes. Okay. And Tales of Luria by Sail North. Okay. Okay. Am I missing any? I've got Black Fox in there. All right, good night. Thank you so much. I know it's super late for you. Get some rest. Give those little ones big smooches in the morning. I'm pretty sure I added a few to that list. Da-da-da. I requested Overboard and posted it. Yeah, but where? Overboard. Okay. So basically you just want me to like learn all of the songs by Sail North, is that what you're saying? Yes, much love to you as well. Get good sleep. The song recommend. Are you sure? Well, I looked through there. I did look through there. I guess the question is when. 'Cause I'm gonna look, Maddie. I'm gonna look. The Bard's Corner. Oh yeah, I have Overboard in there, yes. Somehow I didn't get it on Spotify though. I must have put it on the wrong list. That was my fault, Maddie. I'm sorry. That was my fault. As for bears, I don't see it in there, so it might be somewhere else. You're welcome. I'm just preparing you for, being a father someday, Maddie. Because when you have a child, they're going to make you feel crazy all the time, and you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared. If you can't hack it, then you might not want that. Just saying. Oh, it might have been in Gilded. You're right, Bear. Because I don't think I got those off of there. There's just like so much stuff. I spent hours getting Discord all set up again, so it's very likely that I missed it. Yeah, Maddie. That is crazy. I will say, if I happen to get pregnant, I'm not gonna be sad about it. I love children. And if I have a girl, I'm not gonna be sad about it. I'm gonna love her to death. But I prefer boys. I just do. Girls, like, they're like nightmares. Okay? Like, I was the golden child growing up. Like, I was quiet. I was well behaved. Not all the time, mind you. Obviously, I did naughty things. Every kid does. But in general, I was very well behaved. Most adults loved the fact that I was very well behaved wherever my parents took me. My sister was not. My mother, I can just tell, and of the stories I have heard, she was a nightmare. And if things are like, my grandmother, very kind of like mellow, down to earth like me, and then there's my mom, difficult, and then down to earth. I would think difficult again would be the pattern, because also my great-grandmother was difficult. So, if I have a girl, I think that would just end up being my fate. So it scares me a little. The idea scares me a little. Oh no! No! Bad. Look, I can acknowledge a joke is funny, but anything that has to do with kids and babies, it makes me upset. I'm not upset about it though, Bear. I'm just saying, like, I don't, like, there was this fad for a while about, like, unalived baby jokes, and I was like, who's making these? They made me angry. They still make me angry. And then when people would tell them, like, they're funny, I would just straight up look at them and I'm like, no. No. And if you make a joke like this around me again, I'm gonna get very upset with you. I just can't. Like, and like movies, when stuff's going on, I get just as upset as if it's happening in real life. Like, those things just, I know it's out there. I know it's just something we can't ever get rid of, because there's just evil people out there in this world. But it upsets me. She just didn't want kids, and that's part of why we split up. And yeah, it's important to know that
very early on, I know some people get weirded about like talking about these things on a first date, and I'm like, you know what? You get to a certain age, and I can understand if people are like, look, I'm just trying to make sure, like, hey, this is a future I see for me. Does that sound good to you? No? Okay, then we can move on and not waste our time, right? And that's a huge aspect of a relationship, whether or not you want to have kids. For sure. I have too many siblings, and my 2 little brothers are the absolute worst compared to the sisters of the family. Like, my brother was rambunctious. My child was very rambunctious. I had to get a purse/bag thing that strapped to my hips and leg so I could chase after him, because he was like that split moment runner. You know, like he would just be like quiet, kind of observing things, and then all of a sudden he'd just be booking it, and I'd have to go run after him. That was stressful. So, and yeah, even other people in my family were like, man, he's a lot. I'm like, yeah. But it's okay. I'd rather deal with a boy that's a lot, because it's usually just rambunctious, whereas a girl who is a lot, she's smart. She is cunning, and she is conniving. That is a level of difficulty I don't really want to have to deal with, but I will if I have to, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I think everybody does, Maddie. Everybody does, but it is important to bear in mind, for the sake of your mental health, you have to remind yourself that you are in control of how you react to things. I'm not saying that it's easy to control that reaction, but you are the one that has control over that. So if somebody does upset you, the best way to try to take that step of regulation is taking those several deep breaths, because you will, right? You need to take several deep breaths and be like, okay, I can get mad at this person, I can think about this all day, or I can just not give a crap about that person because they're a jerk, and move on with my life, because I don't need that. And it's hard to get to that point where it's successful, but if you just keep telling yourself, because I get it. But, you know, maybe that's just me. I don't want those sorts of things, because everyone has, you know, their things. I don't want those things to control me. I don't want it to control my life, and when it did, I was miserable and just the worst way to exist, and I was like, oh, I don't want to live like that. I really don't want to live like that. So I just was like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to not care, because if it's somebody I don't know, I don't care. Somebody I do know, and they're just trying to be hurtful, then I can choose to cut them out of my life. If somebody is not trying to be hurtful, then I can talk about it. I just talk about it. At the end of the day, I get to make the choices for my life, you know? That's like the best comfort. There are plenty of things we have no control over in this world. And it's best not to dwell on them, because what does it do? I use my words, or I try to, because I frantically talk and stumble over my words. And that happens because, like, when you have hyperactive brain activity, your thoughts are thinking well ahead of your mouth. So you just, like, start, like, sounding unintelligible. And then the people are looking at you like, what's happening? We were talking about this mouse over here, and now you're talking about roller coasters. Like, you know, just like this crazy jumps sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. Which is fine. I just, I never expect people to care or give a crap, so I don't know. If I let somebody else be in control of my emotion in some way, that's my fault. That's just how I've learned to view things. But it's not the same for everybody, I know that. But okay, so a song that I do know. I always get the most random songs stuck in my head. Like today, I was singing Once Upon a December, and then it suddenly switched over to Pat Benatar. Don't ask me how, because I don't know. That's just what happens. But we better decide quickly, because ads are going to be coming up soon. I'm asking for a song I know, because we got into the tangent of talking about songs you want me to learn, and then we moved on to another tangent, and then another tangent, and then another tangent. And now we're circling back to, oh yeah, we were supposed to sing a song. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Savage Daughter and From Before Us, okay? Hello, Road to Faith, and good morning to you. It is definitely nighttime for me, but I'm assuming or guessing that you are in Europe somewhere. Do you know My Mother Told Me? Yes, I do. Okay, so I can do that one, Savage Daughter, and From Before Us. I need to remember the tune From Before Us, but we have sung it before, so I'm sure I can pick it up. And Soldier Poet King. All right. The usuals, right? The usuals. All right, let me shut that off. And Gone to America? Okay, we're gonna do a lot of songs tonight. Need to find the right lyrics. Sometimes I forget which ones had the messed up ones. We'll see. We'll find out, won't we? Okay. I might just turn that down a smidge, since I'll probably be singing a little longer. And Anne Bonny. Oh my gosh. Okay. I am my mother's savage daughter, the one who runs barefoot, cursing sharp stones. I am my mother's savage daughter. I will not cut my hair. I will not lower my voice. My mother's child is a savage. She looks for her omens in the colors of stones, in the faces of cats, in the fall of feathers, in the dancing of fire, in the curve of old bones. I am my mother's savage daughter, the one who runs barefoot, cursing sharp stones. I am my mother's savage daughter. I will not cut my hair. I will not lower my voice. My mother's child dances in darkness. She sings heathen songs by the light of the moon, and watches the stars and renames the planets, and dreams she can reach them with a song and a broom. I am my mother's savage daughter, the one who runs barefoot, cursing sharp stones. I am my mother's savage daughter. I will not cut my hair. I will not lower my voice. We are all brought forth out of darkness into this world through blood and through pain, and deep in our bones the old songs are waking, so sing them with voices of thunder and rain. are our mother's savage daughters, the ones who run barefoot, cursing sharp stones. We are our mother's savage daughters. We will not cut our hair. We will not lower our voice. Okay. Managed to make it through that one. That one's a little bit harder. So I never know how that one's going to turn out. It's like, what's that when you guys have me sing? Where some days I can get that low note and then some days it eludes me. Okay. Is it the whale one? I think it is. Splendiferous, thank you. Okay. So we got one of Bethany's. And Tyson wants Soldier Poet King. Hello, Jacob, and welcome in. Who asked for the first one? Okay, Bethany asked for Savage Daughter. We will hold off on From Before Us because we gotta get to other people's requests as well. So, Soldier Poet King, okay. And then, Maddie, do you want Valhalla Calling or do you want Anne Bonny? You have to pick. And then we'll do Gone to America. And then we'll see how it goes. Wait, somebody asked... Oh, Valhalla Calling? No, okay, Maddie asked for Valhalla Calling. I feel like there was another one that I'm missing. Am I crazy? What about Golden? I don't know if I'm good at singing pop songs. You know, like maybe some like 90s, early 2000s pop, but like modern pop. I don't know. Okay, Soldier Poet King. Let's do that one real quick. I should check the ads. Oh, it's on an ad break. But maybe we don't have anyone in here that doesn't have a subscription, so we're fine, right? We're fine? We're good? Oh, that's okay, Bear. That's okay. That's okay. I don't know if anyone's paying attention that doesn't have a subscription on Twitch, so I think we're all right. Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna sing it anyway. Because it said so. Also, there are 2 Has-Been songs so far. I can't sing for the life of me. Yeah, I won't know any of them. I have not watched it. I don't have any plans to watch it, so... all I can say is good luck, I guess. Just practice. I'm sure you'll get better at it. It's not like I'm perfect at these songs, but we sing to have fun, Maddie. We don't sing because we're good at it. We sing to have a good time, and it's a tavern. Okay. There will come a soldier who carries a mighty sword. He will tear your city down. Ole, ole, oh Lord. Ole, 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 oh Lord. He will tear your city down. Ole, ole, oh Lord. There will come a poet whose weapon is his word. He will slay you with his tongue. Ole, ole, oh Lord. Ole, 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 oh Lord. He will slay you with his tongue. Ole, ole, oh Lord. Instrumental portion. There will come a ruler whose brow is laid in thorn, smeared with oil like David's boy. Ole, ole, oh Lord. Ole, 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 oh Lord. Smeared with oil like David's boy. Ole, ole. Ho! Cleaned it up. It starts in English, then goes, oh yeah, the maid's Japanese. That's funny. Okay, Soldier Poking. Okay, you said Anne Bonny. Am I correct? Anne Bonny. I won't sing like that, I promise. I'm just kidding.
I tease. Villainous, infamous, and bonny. Villainous, infamous, and bonny. Oh, I'll tell you a tale of a pirate queen, a she-wolf who reigned the Caribbean Sea, with a pistol ready and a cutlass keen, the villainous, the infamous, and bonny. Born in Ireland scandalously, bastard daughter to a prosperous lawyer, shunned suitor and society for the love of a pirate boy. So Calico Jack and our Anne Bonny, passion lovers, villainous plunderers, sailed off for a life of piracy on a ship, the Revenge, ahoy! Oh, I'll tell you a tale of a pirate queen, a she-wolf who reigned the Caribbean Sea, with a pistol ready and a cutlass keen, the villainous, infamous, and bonny. But this was the 18th century, where men made knives and women made wives, so Anne disguised herself to be a deadly pirate boy. Oh, she plundered and murdered and raided the sea, with cannons roaring, pistols warring, she ravaged galleons mercilessly. Oh, Anne Bonny. Then a fellow pirate caught a glance, her naked chest, a woman's breast. So she drew her cutlass and took a stand to be Anne the pirate queen. Oh, I'll tell you a tale of a pirate queen, a she-wolf who reigned the Caribbean Sea, with a pistol ready and a cutlass keen, the villainous, infamous, and bonny. That's when Anne met Mary Read, a pirate siren, female tyrant. Together they terrorized the sea, a buccaneering team. Oh, they plundered and murdered and raided the sea, with cannons roaring, pistols warring. They ravaged galleons mercilessly, Anne and Mary Read. On October 1720, gold they struck, so the boys got drunk. An easy opportunity for a ship of British Marines. Anne and Mary fought alone, with cutlass flying, pistols firing. They fought hard for their ocean throne, but lost their victory. And so the crew were captured, thrown in prison, death by hanging. But Anne Bonny was pardoned, for her belly held the child. So she paid her Jack a visit, and this she said, with no tear shed: "If you had fought like a man, you wouldn't be about to die like a dog." And she turned on her heel and walked out the door and vanished into legend. Oh, I'll tell you a tale of a pirate queen, a she-wolf who reigned the Caribbean Sea, with a pistol ready and a cutlass keen, the villainous, infamous, Anne Bonny. That one's fun. I like the old style of telling a story in your songs. Oh, thank you, Jacob. You did not tell the vision from Jesus. Was that a part of the song, Wesley? It's getting pretty late, so I must be off. All right, good night. Thank you so much for coming in to join us for some songs and for the story.
I've never heard that song before, I don't think, but you've given me quite a good impression of it. Well, I'm glad. It's fun. You can find it by Carleen. Carleen? I think it's Carleen. Karliene. Do you know the Fox's Foray? I do not. But I do take requests for new songs in the Discord so I can keep track. And I try to listen to them and then add them to the roster as I can. I have fun learning the husband's songs, don't get me wrong. Just a few songs are like, good luck learning this, lol. Like the polka rap? Alright. Gone to America, that's right. My brain works sometimes, right? Sometimes. What are you doing? Coda, what are you doing? You're being loud. You come say hello? Want to say hello? Like, not really, but I'll take pets. Gone to America. Here we go. Married him in April, lost him in July. Listen to my story and I'll tell you why. They said that he'd been poaching and stealing wine. I guess I will be in need of a Discord link? Yes, absolutely. They said I wouldn't see him for a long, long time. They said he's gone to America to work the land that some called Virginia. They said he's gone to America. Married him in April, lost him in July. They took him as their prisoner, then told me why. They said they had sent him where poachers go. I asked if I could see him, but they said no, and now he's gone to America to work the land that some called Virginia. They said he's gone to America. Married him in April, lost him in July. Curse the men who took him, curse their wicked lie. The night they saw him poaching and stealing wine was the night he took comfort in these arms of mine. And now he's gone to America to work the land that some call Virginia. They said he's gone to America. Married him in April, lost him in July. Sad one, but a good one. It's a good pick by the bear of the tavern. Yeah, I gave you your little dancing dragon, Kemian. I hope you're happy. I didn't spend all that much time on it. So he looks really derpy, but it's small. And he's dancing. That's what matters, right? Discord link. Bear, could I trouble you to get a Discord link for Jacob over on Facebook, or is that going to be difficult? And I keep saying this, but I feel like because he's so tiny and you can't, and like he's black, so like you can't really like see the little details. It also kind of looks like Milu's
axolotls. I'm like, yeah, it can be either. Because she has the black ones. Okay. Is Bethany still in here? She still want from before? Is that what's my brain is I'm going to confess I didn't go to sleep last night. So if you're wondering why I'm kind of loopy, it's because my brain is like literally going on the fritz right now. Okay, from before us. Thank you. Yes. I'm gonna play the tune real quick so I remember what I'm doing here. Yep. I like him. He's cute. I'm glad you like him. That's all that matters. If you like him, then I'm satisfied. I knew it! I knew you didn't sleep. I didn't. Look, it's partially my fault, but Castle went to record videos last night, and I kept checking in on him because it was getting late, and getting late, and getting late, and getting late, and then it's like 5 in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I need to make sure he's alive, and I'm gonna go check on him. And I hear him recording, so I'm like, okay, he's alive, but what the heck? I'm like, I stayed up because I was waiting for him, and I guess he fell asleep a couple of times up there. Oh, I was asking if you could get Jacob a Discord link on Facebook. Okay, from before us, let me... I think I remember this tune well enough. All right, I'm gonna just use the lyrics on here because they're probably more accurate. Yeah, all right. Deep in my bones, stirs through my veins, I hear the voices from long ago. Mothers of old calling my name, singing me secrets I somehow know. We are the power in all of their plight, strong as the trees in the forest. We are their legacy, born from their fight, honoring those from before us. I have to practice one more, obviously. Sorry, Bethany. Sure as the moon pulling the tide, I feel the pull from a distant past. All of my strength comes from inside, claiming the power they gave at last. We are the power in all of their plight, strong as the trees in the forest. We are their legacy, born from their fight, honoring those from before us. Together we sing loud and long to call on the mothers that bore us here. Pillars of life making us strong, showing us how we can persevere. We are the power in all of their plight, strong as the trees in the forest. We are their legacy, born from their fight, honoring those from before us. I feel the ties, ancestral bond. I know the women that fought for me. I hear their cries, they are not gone. They are alive in the air I breathe. We are the power in all of their plight, strong as the trees in the forest. We are their legacy, born from their fight, honoring those from before us. This is my voice, this is my vow, this is my promise to sisters of mine. I will not bend, I will not bow, you will not break my foremothers' design. We are the power in all of their plight, strong as the trees in the forest. We are their legacy, born from their fight, honoring those from before us. All right. Kind of got it. There you go, Bethany. Yeah, shh. You don't need to pay attention to when I'm on Discord. Yeah, I know. I know. It just got so, I was gonna say late, but really like early in the morning. I was like, you know what? If I go to bed now, I'm not gonna want to wake up till 6 p.m. So I think I'm just gonna stay up and tough it out. I wasn't trying to pay attention. See if I have any in here that we haven't done before. We've done Green Fields of France. I like that one, but it's sad, and I don't think many people really know it. Have all the songs from The Last Unicorn. They were by America, in case anybody wants to know. Those were good. I liked them. I have Song of the Sea in Guelga and in English on here. I have Shularun. I have Frozen songs, which Bear doesn't like, so we won't sing those. Let's see. Hobbit walking song is cute. I like Here's a Health to the Company, but I don't have all of the pitches correct on that one. I need more practice on that. Have you favorited so you don't get buried? I see. Yeah, and I've done that on accident, not because I wanted to, but it happens, Jacob. It happens. It shouldn't anymore. Like at this age, my body can't handle it. It can't. Like I should not be staying up all night, and I don't want to die of lack of sleep. And it affects my skin. Like it just gets so terrible and like sad and drab and dull. I shouldn't stay up all night. And I didn't want to, but I don't really go to bed without Castle, and so I was like, well, I'm gonna wait for him. He doesn't like going into Bear doesn't like Disney songs, Maddie. I thought Frozen might like bleed into the realm of what's acceptable because it's all like Scandinavian inspired, and I am brain farting on her name. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Not the main singer, but she's a well-known singer. She's oh, gosh. No, I know. I have her somewhere. I have it. I'm just gonna look. Instead of being crazy. Aurora. You'd think I would remember that, but she goes by Aurora. She's like very quirky. She sings the accompanying part to the Into the Unknown song. You can't be old enough for that to affect you. You appear to be around my age. Nope, I'm not. I am not. Yeah, Elsa. Not she doesn't sing Elsa's part. She sings the voice calling Elsa. That makes sense. She might actually sing the mother's parts of the songs. I can sing Show Yourself in Norwegian, Icelandic, and Greek. That's funny. I just celebrated my friend's 40th birthday. She didn't want to do anything. I was like, no, we have to go out to dinner. Like, that's kind of a big deal. But then when mine comes up, literally a month from now, I'm going to be the same. I'm going to be like, nah, we don't need to do anything. But I try not to be a fuddy-dud. And it's kind of, I don't know, when you hit the, like, decade marks, I feel like you should at least go out to dinner. It's because I use this song to help me learn languages. Well, that's cute. I like it. I like it. I've learned plenty of Japanese songs from anime, but don't know what it means. Didn't help me learn the language. I just learned the song in that language. That makes sense. But that's smart, though. That's smart. All right. Did we knock them all out? Did we have more? Are we skedoodling off to bed yet? Oh, I'm so hot. Ugh. I need to trim my hair. I'm not gonna really like cut a lot, but the top needs to get some weight off so it has some buoyancy. I don't know why my chat keeps scrolling up. Well, if you take better care of yourself than I do, you'll age well. I'm just naughty. Do you know any German shanties? No, I don't. Are there German shanties or just like German bar songs? I match the lyrics to the translation. Yeah, and like obviously I would do that when I want to know what the song meant, but then I would forget that. You know? Like I really want to be able to sing a lot of the songs by Julie Fowlis, but they're in Scottish Gaelic, and I don't know how to read that well enough, and I don't have her voice, and like, ugh, I would love to have her voice. I can't find any like actually good vocal lessons for singing in that style. Like obviously like there's lessons where they'll teach you this song, but that's not what I need. I need a vocal coach that can help direct me with that kind of singing so I can sound better for these things. I had to delay my 40th because my mother-in-law decided to curl up her toes. Oh no, that's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, I don't think I've heard any German shanties. I'm not looking forward to turning 40. Well, you got a while to go, Maddie. You don't need to worry about it for a while. Just enjoy your 30s.
Now, you want to talk about aging well? Like, I thought Maddie was in his early 20s, and he's not. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was like a mix of the looks and like your personality. I was like, oh, he's so young. I mean, you're still young, but I just mean like you're not as young as I thought you were. Eh. Yeah. No, I'm fine, but like I can feel the difference in my skin if I don't sleep right. Like if I'm not getting good sleep and if I'm not sleeping properly on a schedule, it does affect my skin and then of course like dark circles under my eyes. And I don't like layer on makeup because I don't like it. So I usually go for like foundation that's like part foundation, part lotion. I'm like, I just want to feel moisturized. I don't want to feel like I have stuff on my face. So usually can't really fully hide the dark circles, but yeah. I think we just had like a really good generation. Like I think just we handle crap better. Yeah, yeah. It's nice. I had the opposite problem as a teenager. Like it was so frustrating to look so much younger than I was because you'd have people that they don't take you seriously. They make assumptions about you, like especially when I'm job hunting or the dating scene. Oh my gosh, nightmare. Becca's mom said I look 40. Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You do not. Maybe you did after she stressed you out for a while. Maybe that's what happened, Maddie. That's what I would have said. Like, you know what? There's a reason. If I shaved off this white beard of mine, I'd drop 15 or 20 years. And you know what? I don't mind. Like, Castle pointed out, like, I've got like a few white hairs, and I was like, whatever. He's like, I'm gonna pull them out. I'm like, no, like, what's the point? Like, if my hair is gonna change color, it's gonna change color. It's fine. I'm gonna start nomming on this sandwich while I talk to you guys. Sorry. Because I've been waiting and I'm hungry. Mm-hmm. Personally, Bear, I like the white beard. But that's me. I think it will be frustrating, like when my hair gets to that transitionary period where I can't decide what color it is. Because it has a habit of like looking kind of dull. And that's something that's hard to deal with, but like, I think white hair looks pretty. Well, I'm glad your mom liked it, Maddie. Why is the rum gone? Yeah. Hello, Timothy. Welcome in. And thank you so much for the tip. Enjoy your fairy ring crumble. I actually don't have any rum. I have some whiskey, though. You're right over there? You okay? I know we have a delay for Facebook and Timothy, so he's probably like, CB. mm.
This thing's huge. It's like as big as my face. I'm probably not going to be able to eat all this. Want to say hi to everybody? He's kind of too big to be jumping on me. It's easier to show you guys Coda when Castle's sitting here. Well, it's because you've been consistent, Maddie. Oh, really? Bear? It's just all in the beard? That's funny. The chair is naked? Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna need to probably switch out the blanket the next time I'm sitting here. Now that it's dawned on me why my nose probably gets itchy when I sit here. Like, even, like, my skin, when I touch it, it feels itchy. So, I am, like, 99.9% sure there's Angora in it. Yeah. It's because you're consistent, and you're on there for a long time. Like, usually you want to be on there at least for 2 hours. But it's because you're on for a long time, and you have people that will keep you tabbed up, so you're steadily keeping people with like an average viewership, and that will just over time you're gonna grow if you stay consistent. Oh no, Dyson. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the big deal, you know, when you put in all this work into growing out the beard and then you just get rid of it all. That's why in Castle's families, their tradition, like they only trim the beard for specific occasion. One of them primarily being when you're gonna get married, because the beard is representative of the promise that you make and upholding that promise. So you trim it when you get married, and then you grow it out, you keep it, you groom it nicely, you keep it maintained because it's like a representative of your promise in the marriage, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, whenever like something tragic happens, there's hair traditions that they have. Yeah. And that happens, you know, like streamers support streamers, and then you just get like this familiar crowd that kind of roam about. And then you have a lot of familiar faces. It's nice. All right, my friends. It is late for you guys, late for me. I should probably get off and wind down so I can actually sleep at a decent hour tonight. I think that would be wise. I tried to grow a mustache to look like Daniel Day-Lewis, but to no avail. I mean, there's different hair growth patterns. Like, it's different for everybody. So you might not be able to get the exact look that he has. But good night, Kemi, and thank you so much for hanging out. And I appreciate all of you for being here, spending some time with me. Like, we're really just doing the lives for you guys so we can have some almost like one-on-one time, even though we got a whole group, but you know, just some face-to-face in the best way that we can manage right now. But I appreciate you sticking with me this long with this trilogy. We're almost done with it. We're getting there. And then we're gonna have to pick something else. But please have a good night and a good day tomorrow. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. And Castle will be reading the family-friendly book, so he'll be reading Aragon. That's what he's going through right now. And he is more entertaining because he does fantastic voices for his characters. So get some good beard oils. Yep. Well, that's good, Maddie. That's good. I actually used the stuff you sent me today, but I did a mix of the oils you had sent and then like one of the beard balms that I still had left over, and one's like pancake breakfast and the other one was like kind of very like winter time, so it was kind of like a Christmas morning breakfast is what Castle smelled like when I did his hair. It smelled good. You're growing your mustache again? Just the mustache, Maddie? I don't know. It's your mustache. I feel like there's only certain mustaches that work. Like I've seen these old photos of my dad from the 90s, and they're hilarious because he's like wearing these like open collared button up shirts, got like this thick gold chain and just like that little mustache, you know? And I'm not gonna say what it makes me think of because I don't want to get in trouble, but you know, there's some things, some activities out here that this area is known for in the film industry. It makes me think of that. So when I hear just a mustache, I'm like, oh gosh, please don't make it like that. Yeah, see, but that's too close, Maddie. That's too close. I don't know. I might have to see. You want to do like a handlebar mustache? You want to do like, Old West mustache? I can dig it. But if you just got the little like I don't know how else to describe it other than a way that will get me into trouble.
What are you talking about?
Remember how I told you my dad would dress when he was younger? And he was like a playboy?
Uh-huh.
And I said he looks like a certain thing. Like, I don't know how to describe that mustache.
Adult film actor.
Adult film actor, yes. Don't look like that, Maddie. Don't look like that. Because it can also make people think that you look like a PDF. So, just... We have, like, these weird, like, tie-ins to certain looks, It's like Hitler, right? Like, nobody rocks that mustache because Hitler.
Careful, you can't say his name on TikTok or they'll ban the live.
Oh, TikTok's over.
Oh, okay. Then you're fine.
Yeah, I don't know if I missed the thing or if they shut down the live because I mentioned feet.
It's possible. Either way.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And like he looked good, but also like no, not the mustache. Not the mustache. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got a rant without even having to cash in some points for it. Super serious mustache man is what my wife calls me. That's funny. Yeah, like, I mean, I guess you could do like the Ned Flanders mustache. It's kind of like a classic style, and that works too. You just can't do the, If you're gonna do that, also do like a goatee, then you can look like a musketeer or something, right? Like, just something other than adult film actor. But J.J. Jameson supported the toothbrush mustache. So, I think there's Angora in this blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah, because whenever I sit here, my nose gets itchy.
Entirely possible. I'll have to look at the...
So I'm like reading to them, and I'm like, ugh, itchy nose. Like every week. And it just dawned on me today, I'm like, oh my gosh. There's probably Angora in this thing. I have long hair to boot, and I want to braid it. Braid it.
Oliver Hardy also had a toothbrush mustache. Like, I think it works for a certain face shape, for sure. Pretty much. Yeah, like TikTok just completely takes it out of context. TikTok.
Super serious mustache man is what my wife calls me.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Musketeer, you're into that? Finally, someone of quality. Look, I mean, it's like a classic. Not a lot of people have the gumption
Now look,
to try.
disclaimers need to be made. While we do like the Musketeers,
See, look, it's making my legs itchy too. Look at that.
yeah,
That's from the blanket. I'm allergic, you guys.
probably needs to be cleaned. As
I'm
well.
allergic to it. It's giving me a rash.
While we do like the Musketeers, we do not condone the French. It's an important
Yeah.
caveat needs to be made.
They had certain styles that worked and then other things that did not. But that's everybody. Like, I think everyone can look at their like historical fashion and be like, why did they do that? Why did they do that? I kind of look at our time now and I think that, I'm like, why did we do this? Why did we veer away from these very classy looking clothes that people still see as classy, like the men's suit? The men's suit has been around for how long now, and it's still what people like to see on a man. Like a nice tailored, well-made one, right? Classic. They never went out of fashion, but like the women's version of that, we don't have that anymore. Now it's leggings. It's sad. My mustache is thin and I have nearly no facial hair. Growing it out until I have a full Merlin beard. Will it grow like that though? Like, that's the thing. Like, my brother, for the longest time, he could not like grow anything that wasn't just like a patchy. Now he's got a bit of a beard, but not like Castle's. But the French have great fashion. Not unilaterally. You know? Not all of it. Not all of it. Like, do we need to bring up King Louis's picture and what he was wearing? Because I will. And I will pick it apart. Okay, I definitely have the mustache and goatee to be able to pull off a musketeer look. However, it would have to be German musketeer due to heritage. Go for it! Be a German musketeer, why not? My Uncle Ted is a real-life Ned Flanders, except the religious aspect. That's funny, just like the look. And it works for some people. There's that one well-known actor that has that too, right?
Tom Selleck.
Is that him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tom Selleck is the guy known for a mustache.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I and my wife think that I look much better with the castle look haircut and short beard. Yeah. Like, for him as the eldest son, he has to have his hair and beard a certain way for tradition.
Well, and I would prefer for my beard to be long, but because of medical issues, I haven't been able to keep it long as of recent.
I groom it as best as I can. I've become his personal barber. So if it looks bad, it's my fault.
Which is why.
And you can tell me if you got any tips.
Which is why all of you just say that I look stunning all the time, because she can't do anything wrong.
Don't say that. I have a couple very nice suits, but with my hair and beard, I look like the defendant. So what? Like, I like when, like, if he wore a nice tailored, like, even just like the shirt and a vest with his kilt, like, that look totally works with whatever hairstyle. You know?
Which is how all my uncles dress.
Yeah.
When we're wearing traditional stuff, we wear tunics and whatnot. But for the most part, my uncles all wear 2-, 3-, and 4-piece suits.
I saw a wax statue of my great something or other. He had one, both my male grandparents could have one, but for some reason my dad could not grow one until he was in his 40s.
got mine in the 20s, so I think I might get the Merlin beard. All right. Yeah, go for it. Try it. Just keep it like nicely groomed as you go.
You have to have well hydrated skin.
Okay, first of all.
What?
No, Napoleon was fine.
Yeah.
He was fine. And he was wearing military attire, like it was fine. Rasputin, absolutely not. No. Timmy, no. Gosh, he was such a creep. Ugh. Don't do that, please. Charles the First, Charles the Second, and Edward the First Longshanks. Okay, fine, sure. I will be on board for anybody else, but Rasputin. How about that? You could pick Genghis Khan. I'd be all for it over Rasputin. I only have a green suit. I like it. Is it like a forest green? If it's a forest green, that's fantastic. If it's lime green, I'm gonna tell you need to get rid of it. Not even gonna sugarcoat that.
Here be arc followed.
My hair is like castle, but it's a bit narrower on the top. Okay. Yeah, they're even very specific about that. Like it has to be in the right spot. Welcome in, here be Arc, and thank you for the follow. We are just waffling at this point. Normally we are reading a book and then we sing some tavern songs, and now we're just chatting. We were supposed to go to bed and then we went off on a tangent like we normally do. I mean, the song that why did they have to make that so catchy? Why did they make a song about him to begin with, and why did they make it catchy?
Yeah.
It's just it's terrible. Like if you read up on the man, you can't hear that song and not get the ick. For like modern lingo, the ick.
Now to be fair, he was impressive, but he was just creepy.
Rasputin was the scruffy looking nerf herder. Oh,
what the man managed to accomplish in his life was impressive. He was he was a gross.
Yes. Yeah. Just an observation. I'm not worried about it. Yeah. I only have my old dress green suit. I never liked it much, but it can look slick. Yeah, you style it the right way. You know, you look well groomed, like you look like you put in some effort. You can totally pull it off.
Allegedly, yes, Jacob. Allegedly. Supposedly they have Napoleons as well.
No, why? Like, why? What is the obsession with phallus?
Well, apparently, Rasputin had a form of elephantism. That affected one of his legs.
Yeah, right. One of his legs.
And his third leg.
One of his legs. Oh God. I have the ick from history, but still dance to the song. I'm like, why did you make it catchy? It's like some of the like old songs where like they're definitely old dudes creeping on too young of girls, and you're like, why is this catchy? Why did you make me like this song only for me to realize that you're being gross? Why'd you do that to me? Why? I'm talking about acting, not beards. Okay. Yeah, you can act as them.
I thought that the guy who played Rasputin in the Kingsman sequel was pretty good. He did a good job.
Like a wine bottle green suit?
Yeah. Hello, Matty.
You could do that. Oh, if you got like a plaid vest to put underneath. Oh, yes. Yeah.
My grandfather and my uncle Roland, they're pretty much all blacks and blues. Like, they don't really wear anything outside of blacks and blues. But my uncle Danny loves his plaids. Like, he's plaids and golds and greens. Like, my uncle Danny dresses like a hobbit.
I love that.
Which is funny because all of my uncles are in pretty good shape, but my uncle Danny is the most rotund out of all of my uncles. And he's not fat, he's just always had a gut. Like, he's kind of like same build as me. He's a little bit taller than me, though. No, my Uncle Danny would be shorter than me because I think he's like 6 foot 6'1", something like that. But he's a little bit rotund in the middle, and he basically dresses like a very tall Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah. And it looks good on you guys, okay? Like, it just looks good on all men. And I don't mean, like, just getting a suit and not, like, fitting it to you. Like, you can't do too big, you can't do too small. Like,
Yeah,
it's gotta be your suit
It
that
has to
fits you,
be-
and then, like, it doesn't even matter what you do. It looks
It
good.
has to be fitted.
Tailored clothing is just... I really want that, and I'm gonna have it eventually. I'm just gonna do it because... I very rarely go clothes shopping because I kind of just wear stuff until it's dead, you know? And I need new pants, and I just decided to go shopping. I'm like, you know what? I'll go see if I can find anything. I spent, like, what, 2 hours trying stuff on? I didn't
Yeah.
find anything that fit me.
Oh, did you see the Tim super chat? I don't know if that happened while I was here.
Yeah, it was when he came in.
Okay.
Yeah, it was when he came in.
The rum is always gone.
Yeah. It's just, I think that the state of things now, in general fashion, is tragic.
Yeah, Bethany, they did a really good job with the casting in the Kingsman movies. Like the Rasputin from Kingsman was a very, very well done casting.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the cape is cool for, like, just dressage.
That's true. Yeah, he does have to be taller than me. I am only 4'3".
Reese fans was...
Rasputin in
Oh,
Kingsman.
yeah. Mm-hmm. I have an obsession with hooded cloaks. Yeah, I like them too. I bought a pattern so I could make one for myself. Because if I want, like, a nice one, first of all, they're impossible to find. Like, I mean a nice quality fabric one. And even if I did find it, it would be mega expensive. I'm like, you know what? I could just spend all that money on just the fabric and make it myself, and then I can make sure it's an appropriate length.
The one thing that I will always miss is having access to my grandfather's tailor. Because all of my uncles and all of my aunts have custom tailored hooded cloaks. And all of my uncles have custom tailored greatcoats that you can turn into a cloak. So
I have to learn how to make a kilt in your size.
Well, greatcoats aren't hard. They're just basically giant blankets. But to get them in your appropriate size is where the
Yeah,
issue comes in.
I'm gonna have to knit it myself too.
I think we all, at least to some degree, remember Rasputin from Anastasia, because Anastasia is one of the most underrated, like, animated princess cartoons out there.
Maddie, you gotta be so careful with Fiverr. So many scams.
Yeah.
And, like, it goes both ways. Like, even the people who pay for stuff can be scammy. Which is why, like, usually I have a policy of half up front and then the rest on delivery.
I've never even heard of the Last Sauce. Tim. Ben Cartwright. Ben Cartwright is a good actor though. If that's what I'm thinking of. Ben Cartwright is a really good actor.
Everett told me I look like Beetlejuice because I'm wearing a striped shirt. Rude. A straight brimmed hat? That's cool. I would like to have a hat that can help keep sun off of me, but it's hard to find hats that fit my tiny little head. And I don't really want to go get a baseball cap in the kids section because that's not what I mean. I would like a wide brim hat that actually fits me so it keeps the sun off of my face and neck. Oh, that's cool, Bear. That's nice that somebody made it for you. And you still have it.
Yeah, he even looks like a creep. I know. Like, you can just tell. I'm like, why? Like, you had to have been completely brainwashed to get in bed with that. I'm sorry. Or it was just the novelty of his third leg, you know? Which is not enough to make me think about that. Ugh. Blech. Gross. Without the dent and no book. There's this guy that came up on my TikTok, and he makes the felt hats and shapes them and all this, and he's done all kinds of different stuff, and I just like watching them. I'm like, I'm probably never gonna buy a hat from him, but I just like watching them make it.
There's a guy out of Vancouver who makes really cool hats. He works with the photographer Peter McKinnon. Makes really incredible hats. I'll give it a look. I'll give it a look, Tim. The lady and I don't watch a whole lot of live action stuff anymore, but I'm always willing to give something an episode or two.
I saw a trailer yesterday, and it made me rant at Castle for a while. I just don't have a whole lot of faith in modern media anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to ruin everything.
British Columbia, Manny. He's Canadian.
Yeah, it's expensive. And like I get why, like it's it's an artisanal craft. And like that's why, the whole fast fashion thing bothers me. Like I'd rather just spend a good portion of money for something that's well made, that's going to last me a long time, and I not really care about what the trends are.
Oh, it's from 2018. That might be all right then. Stuff really started going downhill in like 2012, but there are a few good things between 2010 and 2020 that are worth watching. Not a lot, but there are a few
Boo-boo.
things.
Boo boo. What are you doing? Baby. What are you doing? Hi. He's like locked in, staring at me. What are you doing? What do you want? Okay. Are we for real going to bed now?
Probably should.
I mean, just winding down. I'm like, obviously we have to wind down first, but. Ugh.
The only
I would just make one.
yeah, I was gonna- the only place that I could with good conscience recommend is gosh, what's the guy's name?
So I got Castle's tunic from Arm Street, and they're overseas. And
Nightweave. This guy who's from TikTok. They
I'm
make
not
pretty high
familiar.
quality cloaks. This is the only guy who I would recommend with any amount of I don't even know if you can see it, with any amount of confidence, because he's put a lot of work and effort into the development of them, and it's Nightweave. But I've never actually owned or touched one of his cloaks. I just like the guy has put a lot of time and effort into
Oh, that's
making
cool.
them, and on Google, one of his cloaks has over 1,000 reviews, and it's a 4.9 star. So
There you go. But that's cool. I think handmade jewelry is really neat as well.
yeah.
And it was made by your wife, so that's even more special. But I do like Arm Street. They use linen and wool. I haven't gotten a cloak because all the ones that I want are mucho
Ludicrously
dinero.
expensive, yeah.
But like it's all handmade, so I get it.
Yes. Yes, Bethany.
Okay, I need to get off of this chair. It's making me so itchy. Sorry. I love you, and I want to spend time with you, but I'm gonna
Get them ready for a raid.
get crazy. Everyone went to bed. We only have 12 people left.
All right, we can still share the love.
Okay. Share the love. Who's still on now?
Tell them good night.
Good night, you guys. We'll go raid somebody. Hopefully we have somebody that's mellow since it's in the evening now.
Falcor's on.
Okay, Falcor's still on. And it says her uptime is 2 minutes, so it probably crashed on her.
Or we can just jar everyone and take them over to Jake Bar.
No. No.
No, I'm kidding. All right, friends. While it is always so sad to part, it is necessary, and we will see you guys back here on Tuesday. So until then, we will bid you all stay bloodthirsty, and we will see you next time. Good night, my friends.
Good night.
The frost is a shroud on the sleeping glen. We lay out the bread for the healing of men. A silver shadow moves over the height. Breed carries embers to swallow the night. Her footsteps are soft as the falling of woe, while the moon o'er the she is heavy and full. Oh, breathe, breathe life in the cold of the clay. Lead us from shadow and into the day, with the spark of the forge and the flow of the spring. Wake every winter-bound slumbering thing. The wheel is a-turning, the lights on the way. She stands at the anvil where destiny's cast, to hammer the future and soften the past. With iron and fire she tempers the soul, to make what was broken vibrant and whole.
Oh my god, great.
The ice starts to weep at the touch of her hand, as the green fire of Imbolc awakens the land. Oh, breathe, breathe life in the cold of the clay. Lead us from shadow and into the day, with the spark of the forge and the flow of the spring. Wake every winter-bound slumbering thing.
That take turns streaming, and they do storytelling, book reading, singing some sea shanties. It is a lovely good time over there. They're absolutely awesome, and also into bookishness and mythology and lots of cool stuff. So. Oh, and appearance and somewhat behavior. Interesting. Yeah, we are getting ready to go live on YouTube. I'm just setting this bit up. But welcome in. What were you guys doing tonight? What were you reading? If you were reading. It was the lady tonight, but you're overseeing the raid so she could get some water and food. Hell yeah. Well, hi Castle. It's good to see you. What was Oonagh doing tonight? been all very, I don't know, maybe I'm always like this. Maybe I need to develop more of a filter. I don't know. Billionaire! Hello, hello. Absolutely spectacular. I believe it. I believe it. She was reading Child of the Prophecy. Ooh, I don't know that